Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we are live on the Hermitcraft server. Just give things a second to start booting up. But I think we are good to go. So let me just quickly make sure that everything is working properly and looking good. Not 100% certain. As you guys know, I'm pretty new to this whole live streaming thing. Oh no, we're on 60 frames a second again. I do this every single time. Is there any way? Okay, give me a second. And now we're back with the correct frames per second. Yeah, I mean, for some reason, I can't seem to handle doing 60 frames a second. Doesn't seem to like me very much. But anyway, we are now live at this point in time. I'm hoping everything should be working correctly. How is everything looking? Hopefully you guys are all good. I am really, really excited for today's live stream. I can't believe it. As soon as I started streaming, it was literally the second that I hit start streaming, it starts streaming from the sky. It looks, I'm sure it's just a bitrate nightmare right now on the screen. So I really do apologize for that. But in today's live stream, we are going to be doing something very exciting, which is we are going to be obviously booting up our ridiculous machines. So that is the plan for today. We are hopefully going to clear out this entire area. That is the goal. Okay, that's kind of the plan, is that we are going to be taking out this entire space, and it is going to look, it's going to be amazing. I mean, it's going to be fully cleared, it's going to look spectacular, and then in the next live stream, in theory, what we'll do is we will build up the rest of the sand, fill in that area, and then we'll clear out that space, and then this witch farm is ready to go, and it's ready to start spawning some witches. Now, there are a few things that we need to do. Oh no, it's not a good start. For those of you who saw the previous live stream, you will know that I fell off literally everything. I don't think there's a single thing that I didn't fall off of. So, yeah, that shows that maybe we're going to be keeping that theme running throughout today's live stream. I also struggled to take off. And that seems to have come back too. I don't believe it. It's as soon as I start live streaming. It's as soon, I don't know what it is, but I think maybe the bitrate of me uploading like a constant stream means that, unfortunately, it becomes a little bit difficult for me to take off. But anyway, the first thing we've got to do today is I've got to build up these little stations here. I actually forgot to do those on the Hermitcraft episode. So we have got to do these little things, and they've got to go all the way across, but I'm almost done on all of those. So it's literally just 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we place in a furnace, an observer, a block, and then this kind of does its thing. So that's like super, super nice and simple. That should be everything. So yeah, and those are all making their way across. Now I've just got to make sure, am I doing these on the right side? Because otherwise we could run into a bit of a problem. Okay, that's all looking good. How is everyone today? Just woke up, boring buy. I'm glad that's the first boring buy that I've seen in today's live stream. We're 4 minutes in. It's all going strong. And yeah, live stream wise, some people are asking how long we're planning on going for today. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to go until it's done or until I get tired. That's essentially how I do these live streams. You know, sometimes, I think in the first live stream we did, it was 5 hours. The previous live stream was 4 hours just because I got so exhausted doing the complicated redstone of those 3 flying machines. I'm not joking. Trying to do that live just completely wore me out. I was like exhausted by the end of it. So yeah, it really does depend on a number of different things, really. But as I say, I'm so hoping that we can actually get this entire thing done in today's Hermitcraft live stream, because that would be absolutely fantastic. If we could get like the full area all cleared out, looking fantastic, ready to start. Well, no, this full half. Remember, we still have the other half left to go. But now that we know what we're doing, I think we could be onto a winner. Because what I'll do is I'll build up all of the automatic miners in a Hermitcraft episode, because that's so easy for me to do. It takes like maybe 2 hours at the most to do them all the way across. So that's super easy. So then I'll set it all up, and then during a live stream, I will just activate all of them and we'll go back and forth. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, I mean, the chat's going crazy already. How did you get so much redstone? That's a good question. I actually have totally run out of redstone. Oh, that's not something that I'd thought of. So hopefully we actually have enough to finish everything in today's Hermitcraft episode, or Hermitcraft live stream, because otherwise we are going to be in trouble. Can you imagine? Wow, I'm trying my best to read it, and it's just flying past way too fast. It's cool to see that we already have about 6,000 people watching the live stream. We've literally just booted it up, and this one's been fairly unannounced as well, so that's good to see. Oh, my phone, my Twitter has just gone off. Okay, so that's Hermitcraft letting me know, the Hermitcraft Twitter letting me know that the live stream has literally just published the sub boxes, and straight away there has been a jump in the viewers. It's interesting, man. Like, the way that YouTube kind of works, it has like a delayed upload system in that you post. It's so scary. Every single time you post a YouTube video, it will come out and then maybe 10 people will watch it for the first 3 minutes. And you're like, oh no. That's terrifying. And then all of us, thank you to the person in the chat that just told me about that. Thank you, you have just saved a breakage. We'll have to double check that all of them are correct before we actually boot it up. But yeah, when it comes to YouTube, yeah, you hit upload and it says that it's published, and you just sit there and it looks like no one's watching, and then suddenly after like 3 or 4 minutes of it being out, suddenly then all of the views come in. It's really strange. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's YouTube doing like a verification thing or making sure that everything's shipshape, but it's definitely not nice for the YouTuber waiting for their video to publish sub boxes and things. And I'm assuming the same thing goes for live streams and stuff like that. Okay. Oh, yes. Mumbo, remember to remove the beacon before starting it. That's a good point. Yeah, we will have to do that. The one thing that we're going to do is we're going to activate them kind of like 3 or 4 at a time. So we're just going to take out strips of this thing, like a big, like a reverse version of a 3D printer. So we're going to go right the way down to the bottom, because I'm going to have to patch up holes and things like that. And then we'll turn off those, and then we'll activate these 3, and we'll do that, go back and forth, and then we'll gradually make our way across like this. So it's still going to take a very long time. It's going to be like a serious project, but you have to do it. We have to do it. And then if this fails and it doesn't go very well, then we're going to have to work out something else. Anyway, what level are these on? Oh no, I'm starting off the live stream by doing some complicated maths. Okay, how many blocks underneath these are they? So underneath the furnace, there is a 1 block gap. Alright, so surely I can just translate that up into here. So underneath the furnace, there is a 1 block gap. So that's the same as this, right? So underneath the furnace, there is a 1 block gap. And how are they lined up? Are they lined up with both just the entire system? I think they're kind of lined up like that. Oh no, it's offset. Okay. So it's 1 there and 1 there, and then it's, I guess, 4 blocks between them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go. Oh no, yeah, it'll be 3 blocks between them. So then 1, 2. Yeah, am I doing this right? I think I'm doing this right. I'm not sure. That's offset. That's offset. That's offset. You know what? We'll just go all the way across. Okay, I can finally sleep. So I'm gonna quickly do that. If I can manage to fly. It's gonna be the ongoing theme already. But yeah, so we'll get all of those in, and then we will actually be good to go. And I'm so excited. Oh gosh. I thought I could get away from that guy, but he has got a really powerful. Oh no! If I die, that would be so embarrassing. Right. This place is mob central as well. I guess it's just a massive spawning platform. Hopefully this will improve the look of the stream a tiny bit, because right now it's very dark and it's very rainy. I missed a furnace. Did I miss a furnace? I don't know if I did. I think we're okay on the furnaces front. One thing that we are struggling with already, though, is firework rockets. So let's just get a few of those. I'm quite glad. I'm kind of fully geared up in this area here. Okay, I'm full of regret. Because not only am I trying to take off, but my guy's also trying to eat at the same time. We got there in the end. So we are doing that little line of furnaces right there. Oh, that was beautifully elegant. See, sometimes I can occasionally be okay. People are saying that I missed a furnace. I don't think I did. I'm curious to know. I mean, that's not a very useful message. Because I have no clue. Have I run out of furnaces? I've just run out of furnaces. That's also not very useful. You definitely missed one. Furnace about the 4th one. I'm curious now. I mean, people are saying that I've missed one. I can't... Oh, there we go. Yep, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, right. So let's grab ourselves some furnaces. Because apparently we need some of those. And I'm not going to rely on flying anymore. We're going to have to craft up some ladders and things like that. Because otherwise I'm just going to be falling out the sky constantly. And it's not going to make for a very entertaining live stream. Yeah, that's probably a smart move. We have a decent amount of wood. Do we have any cobblestone, though? That's the question. I actually don't know if we do. Okay, good stuff. Right, what is in my inventory right now that we can actually get rid of? We can get rid of that. We can get rid of the slime blocks for now because all the flying machines are constructed. And how many furnaces do you reckon we're going to need? Probably, I don't know, a decent number of stacks. Let's just craft up this many and see how many it gives us. I think it should give us... Okay, 38. I imagine that's got to be enough. Yeah, surely that's got to be enough. So we've got that. And that's going to go right the way across there. There was one other thing, though. I was just thinking... Okay, ladders. Yeah, let's get ourselves sorted with some ladders. I've already got tons and tons of wood. So let's craft up some of these. And... Okay, that is more than enough. Fantastic. This means that we will be able to easily traverse this terrain. I suppose we kind of won't, though. We're going to have to move those chests. Don't worry. I'm aware of that. That'll be fine. I really hope... I mean, we shouldn't have to do that for a little while, so we should be okay there. But we'll see. Now, one thing that we are going to have to get pretty good at is blocking up leaks. But I imagine it would be hard push to blow up stuff, I'm sure. I mean, surely it would be difficult for us to blow up stuff. Anyway, let's go up here. So we need to connect up this ladder to everything. So I guess have it going across like that. That way we can get off there. And then we can also get off higher up when we need to do stuff on this layer. And then I suppose we'll also have to have a ladder going up in this section, which will take us up to the top section up here. And then we'll have to have another ladder, I guess, up here, which will take us up to that bit. And then we'll bring this around like that, just so we can get total 100% roundabout access. We have got 9,999 people watching, and there we go. We have just passed the 10,000 people mark. That is completely crazy. Right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. This is the only way that I can keep distances in my head. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. This is the next hit song. Don't worry, guys. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. We almost at the end. You know, it's really frustrating. I still use pillows and blankets to soundproof the area around my computer so it's not super echoey, because otherwise that would be really annoying for everyone listening. But my echoes are so like puffed up. This is probably the reason why my tools always break. I've just realized something. So my pillows that I put on my desk to stop the sound from bouncing up into the microphone are generally like so puffed up that I can't actually see the bottom of the screen, so I never know how many items I actually have at the bottom of my hotbar. I kind of use them until they run out, and I guess that's why when I'm doing my pickaxe and things, I actually can't see the durability bar, which means that it just runs out. I just run out of juice. And thank you to everyone who has been sending over. I've had so many emails and so many tweets about mods and different resource packs that you can use to help you not run out of tools. So thank you ever so much to everyone that's been sending those over, because they're useful. I don't know how I feel about actually using a mod. I kind of thought about it, and I think that unfortunately because what the mod does is it stops you from being able to mine when your pickaxe is almost out of durability. And to me, that's not very Minecrafty. I think that's on the edge of cheating. I would probably consider that to be cheating a little bit. So I'm not going to be doing that, but the texture packs, that's probably not a bad idea. Do you remember that? See, nowadays it's super visible. It used to not be. I've just remembered that the durability bars were like really unsaturated greens, yellows, and reds. I don't know if I'm going crazy here. I'm fairly certain that's the case, though. It used to be like a kind of unsaturated, not really noticeable colour. Maybe I'm going crazy. I can't quite remember. People mention things from when I first started playing Minecraft, and I'm like, oh yeah, that is how it used to be. I totally forgot about that. Anyway, I think we're done. So what I'm going to do is I am going to boot these things up then, and we shall see exactly what happens. Wow, let's see, did that just come through on... Okay, it just came through in the super chat, but I didn't see it, so I'll wait until it pops up on my stream labels. But that was a massive one. There you go, Jake Lindo, $100 donated through super chat. Hi Mumbo, keep doing what you're doing. I'll try my best. Thank you ever so much. That's a crazy donation. Thank you. But yeah, I think we're good. I think we can do this. I don't know why I lost the ability to speak then. I think the excitement of me being able to actually activate this thing finally, properly, has me unable to speak. I've also, because I was feeling so tired this morning, I don't know what's happened to me, but I have been absolutely exhausted for the past couple days. Like, no matter how much I sleep, I just seem to still be absolutely knackered. And this morning I woke up and it was like super bad. Like I was struggling to keep my eyes, well, not quite that bad, but I was visibly tired. So before this stream started, I drank a ton of sugary drinks, I ate a bunch of sweets, and now I'm bouncing off the walls. And I reckon about 2 hours into this live stream, I'm just gonna go and just completely crash out and fall asleep in my chair. I imagine that's probably what's gonna happen. Anyway, are we good? Are we good to activate this thing? Now, I want to make it very clear, because a lot of people are... It's a good thing we've got a ladder. I want to make it very clear, because a lot of people are panicking about my beacons and my chests that are in the hole. Right? Okay, I'm reading the chat. Don't worry, I'm reading the chat. But we're going to be activating these things 3 at a time, just to stop the lag from absolutely killing us, because the lag will kill us. We will crash out the server, Impulse SV will be very unhappy, and also the live stream won't be particularly entertaining. So we're going to activate these 3 at a time, and we're going to go along the line like that. And these 3 here are completely clear of any rubble or anything in the way. I should be okay. The only thing that we are going to need to take out is the witch hut thing, because otherwise I imagine we're going to blow up the machines. And that, I can't believe it. The one time that I don't want to fly, I fly, and then I fly into the hole. That's so typical. There's people saying the furnace. Which one? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll do that. We will do that. We will do that, don't worry. I've seen the missing furnace. Don't worry. As I say, we're not going to be activating those ones just yet. We'll activate those. That is miles off. I mean, I'm going to be totally honest. I think it will probably take about half an hour per 3. I'm not sure. I really don't know. I have no frame of reference for how long this is going to take. I'm loving the fact that we haven't taken down the beacon yet, though. That was nice and easy, wasn't it? Now, I'm fairly certain that this is actually a witch hut, but I've been speaking to Nembom, and Nembom said that, generally speaking, the only way that you get a broken witch hut is that if it's a lot higher than sea level, which ours isn't. But it can also be checked by someone like Exumavoid, who can take a look at the MBT data, and he can see exactly where the bounding box of the witch hut is. So even if we've got a slightly broken witch hut, it's not going to be the end of the world, and it should be okay, and we'll be able to use it. Right, let's take a leap of faith over the lava. Lovely stuff. It's so much better when it's not raining. I would have thought I'd be able to sleep then, yeah. It's so much better playing when it's not raining. Rain seems to just really slow the entire thing down. Medley Bird, what on earth? That's hilarious. Medley Bird, this is without a doubt the most boring thing ever, so I will be taking my leave. Bye. Medley Bird, thank you ever so much. You are today's top super chatter. Congratulations. And I think you were in the previous live stream as well. You're crazy. I appreciate the fact that the boring buy thing has been that I don't think. Oh wow, okay. I thought we'd got a really good takeoff then, but then we really hadn't. But yeah, there's nothing that I've seen catch on in comment sections quite as much as boring buy has, so I appreciate that, guys. It's just in every single one of my comments. We even released the film on the filming channel yesterday, and there was even a few boring buys in that one, which I appreciated. So thank you. All right, shall we do this? I think we should do this. I'm gonna activate the first one. Good stuff. TNT is exploding. We are getting the mining systems going. Oh, I was standing on it. What a moron. I stood on the machine that I just activated. How stupid is that? That's absolutely hilarious. Right, let's do that again. This time, let's not stand on the machine that actually is going to be taking off. There we go. Cool, so we get to watch this now. And what I like is, as you can see, there's like a little screen off to the left, like a tiny little one, which is my flying account, my camera account, and that is just up somewhere over there. And you can actually see, all of the TNT raining down. It's super cool. Now, one thing that we are going to have to do is we're going to have to remove all of the lava and things like that, but we'll have to do that at some point soon. For now, I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to watch these things and basically patch up any water that floods in, because I think water is going to be the thing that really kills us. This is so ridiculous, though. I mean, I do wish that we were playing on like a single player world, so then I could literally activate all of these things and just have it just completely destroy the place in a really short space of time. But as I say, we're playing on a server. I don't want to destroy it. I'm sure if I did boot up that thing, oh wow, okay, that really has blown up. Okay, let's go and sort that. But yeah, I imagine if I did do that, I think the server would crash out. Do you remember when I crashed the server literally for, I think it was for like 2 or 3 days? And that was from the Mega Pumpkin that I got in Hermitcraft Season 5. Does anyone remember the Mega Pumpkin? I literally created a circular pumpkin in Minecraft from the number of pumpkins that I had just stacked up on top of each other in one spot. It was totally ridiculous. And I'm fairly certain it actually crashed the server for like a number of days. Anyway, this seems to be doing the trick though. So the flying machines, they don't drop TNT on the way back. That's just one of the features of them, I guess. But that's no problem. Okay, this has exploded pretty badly. Yeah, I'm glad that some of you guys watching remember. How many of you, in fact, actually, I wish... See, here's the thing. I did a poll in the previous live stream, and it turns out that polls do not appear... They only appear on the video once it rolls out, which is a shame. So I can't get a poll to actually pop up live on the screen, which is a bit of a bummer. But when did you guys start watching the Hermitcraft series? I'm sure there's a bunch of you that started watching Hermitcraft Season 5, because Hermitcraft Season 5 was a pretty popular season when it first released. I'm sure there's a number of you that started watching Hermitcraft Season 6, because Hermitcraft Season 6 has been the most ridiculous season of Hermitcraft. But then... Is this coming back? And is it dropping TNT? Yes. Okay, good stuff. But yeah, I mean, you know, Hermitcraft Season 3, Hermitcraft Season 2, that's when I joined. Who's been here since the very start, Season 1? Some people are saying Season 1. I started watching Hermitcraft Season 1, when it was Generic B, Exuma Void, everyone like that, Corrales, that team. So yeah, that's when I started watching. Lots of Season 5, Season 6, lots of ends of Season 4. Very, very cool. I'm just going to have a quick drink. Today, my drink of choice is grape Fanta. It is so fizzy and so sugary. Probably a bad idea to be drinking during a live stream. Probably going to be like holding back the burps throughout. Yeah, I didn't think that through, actually. I've got two... See, I've normally gone overboard. I normally have, like, a full rack of cans of Pepsi Max, because Pepsi Max Cherry is, like, my favourite drink, and it's sugar-free. And it's not the worst thing for you, compared to other sugary drinks, anyway. Whereas Grape Fanta, I mean, I hate to think what's in this. Oh, my word. One can, 44 grams of sugar. That's a lot of sugar to have in one can. How have they fit that much sugar in one can? That means in my 2 cans, I have 88 grams of sugar. That's that's a lot of sugar. I think... I wonder, yeah, why is that exploding? Does it get caught on the edge? Let's see. I'm very surprised that leaked. In theory, that totally shouldn't have leaked. We're down to bedrock down there. Nice. So this is actually doing a very good job of mining. Now, the only problem with something like this is that obviously you're not getting any of the items for it. So we're going to dig out 1.2 million blocks here, and we're not going to get a single block for it, which is a bit of a shame. What happened there? I must have been stood directly next to a TNT. Cool, I got lucky there. Right, okay, let's patch this up, but patch it up back here, maybe? I wonder what's happened. I guess occasionally it must just get stuck on the edge. Cool. I got lucky there. That could have been the end of me. Oh, man. I tell you what, though, this is going to be fun. Right, I think while they're making their way back, how would you say I should get rid of all of the lava that sat there? Maybe sand? I think maybe dropping sand into it's a good idea. The only thing that I'm worried about is obviously... So originally I thought obviously cover it in water, but then it would turn into obsidian. And that's like the least useful thing because that can't be blown up by TNT. So what we need something that is really, really blow-upable. So dirt or sand? Sand probably is... It depends, really. I mean, where am I even going to put this stuff? I've actually filled up all the chests that I've got. I have so much junk in my inventory. Right, I'd say this can be my good items chest. In fact, I should probably put some chests somewhere that isn't within the blow up path, because these chests are 100% within the blow up path right here. The flying machine is going to fly right over them, and it's just going to completely destroy them. So maybe we might have to move those around. Anyway, let's grab some dirt, and let's try our best to do this sensibly. That is a lot of dirt. Okay, so the flying machines are flying over. Once they've flown past us, then we can actually get in there, and we can do this. Now, we are going to have to be very careful, because if I blow up next to TNT, or next to lava, and lose all of my stuff, it's going to be really upsetting. Okay, those are ghost blocks. I'm really struggling to know where they actually are right now. Okay, yeah, no, see, there's another one flying over. I was literally about to walk out underneath that thing. Okay, so that's just gone past. So we should be safe. Now there is lava flowing everywhere. We have to be so careful. This is definitely a recipe for death. This is such a recipe for death. We are so on our way out here, ladies and gents. say goodbye to my items. Is there even a smart way to do this? Oh no. I mean, it doesn't feel like this is wise. You can drop it off. Be quicker. I don't know if I can be quicker. I think this is as fast as I'm willing to do things. I'm just so terrified of that skeleton. But I don't have a bow. Oh no, this feels so wrong. It feels so wrong. He hasn't noticed. He hasn't noticed. Oh no, these things are going to destroy all my progress. Okay, he's just gone back in there. I don't know what to do. Oh, get a potion. Those... Oh. To those of you who said that, you are far smarter than me. Right, let's just walk inside here. It's going to destroy... It's going to... Oh, scoop it up with a bucket. That's also much smarter than what I was thinking. Trident. Why trident? Use gravel. No, the trident, I can't shoot it. I can't fire the trident at that guy. It hasn't got range on it. It's riptide. So that won't work. But yeah, fire resistance I think might be the way to go. I'm going to stand back. I can't help but notice that I'm kind of in the blast zone. Alright, we just need to wait. And to the person who's just got frustrated saying, place a dirt block where the source is. What do you think I'm trying to do? That's exactly what I'm trying to do. But the problem is that there was a skeleton right there that I didn't fancy angering. And it's so tricky for me to actually place it. Okay, so we've bought ourselves some time. But it is now getting dark. Okay, so let's fly on back over. We're going to take a rain check. This is something that I hadn't really thought of. But the idea of scooping it up with a bucket, way smarter. Okay. So let's see. Do we have any buckets? I'm almost certain I crafted a bunch of them. I didn't, but I have got a handful of these. So if we just literally scoop up the lava with a bucket, then that's actually a really smart move. Because what we can then do is we can place it down and then replace it with a block and then just keep reusing that bucket. That is way smarter than trying my best to place a source block or try my best to cover up the lava with a block, because that's just going to end in me dying. Now, big lava pools like that, I have no clue what I'm going to do with them just yet, actually, to be honest with you. But the thing is, they're not too much of a problem, actually. The big lava pools down at the bottom, we kind of expect them to be there, and they're well outside the range of where we need our witch hut to be. Oh. Well, there goes a bucket. Nice work. Alright, well, we've just lost 50% of our efficiency. Brill. How could I be so silly? And oh my word, they're coming back? They're coming back already? I can't believe how fast these things are. Oh, we're going to have to wait for them to do another fly pass. So I'm going to have to get out of the way. So yeah, now people are saying pour water on top of it. No. Simply because if we pour water on top of it, it's going to turn some of it into obsidian. And obsidian is not really what we want when we're trying to blow things up, to be honest with you. So that's not a smart move. Just removing the source block is the way to go. We just have to make sure that we wait for the flying machines to go past. Right, and then here comes the third one. Where is it? Oh, here it comes. I still love this though. This is still fantastic. But yeah, no, I mean, I agree that a fire-resistant potion would definitely be the smart option, but I'm not a smart man, so we don't have one of those, and I kind of want to get this done. So let's see. Let's try not to get shot off by this skeleton. Let's just do our best to make our way. I can't reach. Still can't reach. We got it! The lava has been removed. Okay, next up, we need to remove that water over there. Now, we can remove water with lava. We could do that, or we can fill in the area. So that was nice and easy. Now that we kind of know what we're doing, we're all right. We can work with that. It's just when you don't know what you're doing, it's always tricky. It's a bit like this whole project, to be honest with you. When we didn't know what we were doing, we were just digging a big hole, and then we realized it was going to be 1.2 million blocks. It was a bit frustrating. It wasn't the easiest project. Whereas now we know exactly what we're doing. It's kind of fine. Can you believe that those tiny, tiny little lava sources like that are what's causing that enormous mess? That's crazy, isn't it? Alright, so all of that water is going. We are down to bedrock here, though. I'm impressed. I'm very, very impressed by that. So we've already made our way down to bedrock there. Not that we even need to go down to bedrock. So the level that we need to get down to is y equals 26. Which is, yeah, probably around about there. So anything past that is just kind of for the fun of it. So if there's lava pools and things like that down at the bottom, I actually kind of like the thought of that. Like, I like the thought of it looking like a hellhole. I think... Oh, no. Speaking of it being a hellhole. Right, I might actually try my best to kind of get out the way. Because there's another lava pool over there, and I don't fancy standing next to it. Oh, gosh. This is like some strange Indiana Jones movie, but instead of escaping a boulder, I'm escaping a slime block flying machine that's dropping TNT. Right, here I was earlier. So that's the first one, that's the second one, and then the third one comes much later. And the third one is the one that always almost just catches me off guard. Wow. It's definitely frame ratey, that's for sure. Did someone say diamonds? Where are the diamonds? Oh no, it looks like we've got ourselves another leak. Oh! Yeah, I was standing a little bit too close. I was reading the chat. The chat is a dangerous thing to read. Is that lava still going? Now I wonder, does lava have blast resistance or does it not? Because it feels like it doesn't. Anyway, what level are we down to now? So this is y equals 14. Now I can't see any diamonds, but if we do spot some, obviously I'll be sure to pick them up. Anyway, this... Is this all just spreading from this area here? I guess we can block off that source, because that's just going to cause... Why would I do that? We're digging out a massive hole, and I'm choosing to block off sources so they don't affect my little hole. But it will still affect the big hole. It's always best to just block it all off. A little bit of redstone, that's going to help us out. Right, let's get out of here. How come I'm getting XP? Is that... Do you get XP from blown up ores? I didn't actually think you did. I always thought XP was only got from players mining it. So that's surprising. That could come in handy. The slime blocks have frozen on my screen, so we just see this kind of minecart look like it's like a strange slime. How hilarious is that? We've just got floating minecarts just making their way past. They just happen to be TNT machines. I'm very glad that these TNT machines don't work in both directions, because otherwise I would be in so much trouble. Okay, how are we looking on the TNT front anyway, in terms of the lava front even? Oh man, we've blown up that side. Okay. Right, I'm going to try my best to take off and outrun this TNT machine, which is currently coming in my direction. Yeah, so this is just going to be a constant patch-up job, I guess. Is cobblestone stronger than stone, or are they the same? I'm sure there's someone out there that will know the answer to this question. You know, it probably would be smart, actually, to fill up the water, say, 20 blocks from the actual edge, so that we don't get things exploding like this. Hopefully, by me patching it up like this, it should actually stop it from flooding in from the bottom. Hopefully, that's all done. Oh, it's still flowing in from here. Okay. But check that out. I mean, we have got a large quantity of this has already been cleared. And we're just left with lava down at the bottom, which, let's face it, actually looks quite cool. Like, this actually looks pretty interesting. I mean, it's definitely, it looks dangerous. I definitely wouldn't want to walk down there. But for the most part, these TNT machines, all they're doing is just kind of, I guess, there's just one bit that needs to go, which is there, and then there's a little area over there. But other than that, it's pretty much all clear. Yeah, someone mentioned Grian changed the names of my tools. Yeah, for some reason I've got a sub to Grian shovel. I don't know what that's all about. I'm just happy that we're finally making progress on this thing, and we're not totally failing, because it felt like we were totally failing up until about 20 minutes ago, and now we're kind of onto a winner. I feel like we could actually do this, because, you know, I was going back and forth with Nembom and a few of the technical players, and to be honest, Nembom did say, he was like, dude, you could just light up the area, that would be just as good. And I said, yeah, you might be right. I think what I'll do is I'll keep working on this hole, and if it doesn't work out, then we'll just go to lighting it up. And we won't do this one. We'll do the one that's slightly further over there. And yeah, I was genuinely considering that as an option, but I'm glad to see that this is actually working out, and we actually have ourselves like a proper, fully functioning hole digger. To the people saying, call Grian, he's not even online. He's not even here. I get some boring buys as well. Is there a slime chunk there? Yeah, there might be. There probably is. But we have a slime farm, so I'm not too fussed by that. Oh, look at that! I spy some diamonds. Now, the question is, do we risk it? I feel like we should. Oh, I feel like it was a bad idea to risk it. Oh no, the TNT's coming in. I don't think we should risk it. Oh, this is going to hurt some of you. I'm sorry, but the diamonds are going. They are 100% going. And you know what? I'm kind of going to I'm going to relish in the fact that that they're being blown up. We totally could have picked them up too. But you know what? We're so rich on the Hermitcraft server that sort of thing doesn't matter. If they don't get blown up though, I will go and pick them up. But I think they might. Here we go. There we go. Oh, there it is. All of the diamonds are gone. I'm amazed by how fast this thing is digging. That is impressive. How many blocks down do you think it goes for every single pass? There are still a few blocks being left though. I guess we'll have to mine those out. I wonder why that is. I wonder why some of them get missed. Because that's going to be a job and a half, isn't it? Taking out all just the single floating blocks. I guess there's a chance that they'll actually be blown up when the ones on this side come past. That might actually happen. Turn off particles. Yeah, particles might actually be slowing us down a tiny bit. The people in the chat are so upset that I lost the diamonds. Guys, I have, I think about 1,000 diamonds. I'm not that fussed. Now, to be honest with you, I care more about redstone than I do diamonds. We've busted this thing again. Why is it that it only happens there? Because it doesn't happen on the other side. It's really, really strange. Like, it's busted the top as well. That's really weird. Because the only thing is that means, I mean, I'm not that fussed because the edges, once again, it doesn't really matter too much because the way that the perimeter is laid out is it's actually only y equals 26 in the very center. So the very center of the hole needs to be at y equals 26. All the rest is kind of in a sphere. So it kind of goes along in like a kind of upside down sphere. A sphere that's been mined out, or a half, what would you call it? Like a half sphere? So none of those blocks are actually going to matter too much. But it would be nice if we got kind of like a nice hard edge on our gigantic hole here. Anyway, do you reckon it's time for us to boot up the next machines, or do you reckon we're still in the middle of doing this? Cool, we got there. Right, let's look from on top of this tree. How are we looking? So we are almost down to bedrock all the way across. The only place that we're not down to bedrock is this kind of lip right here, where all of that lava was. So I think that proves to me that, yeah, we really, as soon as lava comes up, we need to do our best to clear it out if it's at a decent height. So because normally you don't really get lava pools at like y equals 30 and things like that, but you get like the occasional like lava source block. So we need to try our best to get those. Because otherwise you end up with this, where we're just literally going back and forth, mining out an area that is just that wide. Still though, it is pretty satisfying. I just need to be so careful not to get blown up. Use the next machines. I actually saw someone say he is boring. That's a new one. So I'm used to getting boring by, but just he is boring. Boring. He's boring. Not watching anymore. Boring. Boring's such a funny word to say to a streamer. Like someone who's live streaming for 5 hours. Okay, for you to say just boring. That's like... It's just I don't know, it makes me laugh because I don't think there's a single live streamer on the planet, at least I've never watched one, where a live stream is 100% out and out entertaining for the entire time, like ever, because that's just how it is. It's like it's the whole point of them is that it's long form. You chill out, it's just kind of chilling out and playing and things like that. Now, if it was a video, I can totally understand. Like, chilling out in a video is not very... I don't know why that is. Like, what's that all about? Because why is it that if you watch a 20-minute video and it's boring, it's, like, offensive. It's like, oh, for goodness sake. But you can sit there and watch a live stream that lasts for 5 hours and it has, like, boring segments and it's okay. I appreciate that comment. No, you're not boring as in boring. You're boring as in boring out a hole. Now that you must be a father, okay? But more importantly, B. That's a very funny joke. I like that. Right. I reckon this is the one. Man, imagine if we launched enough TNT down there to just go through to the void. That would be something else. It must be near to the bottom now. I mean, we don't even really need to go that low. It's purely out of vanity. I want it to go down to bedrock. I think it will look really, really cool if we do go down to bedrock. Anyway, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to leave these things running. A lot of people in the chat have been telling me to go and mine out the trees, and that's probably a good idea. So let's take out these trees, because this entire area needs to be totally deforested before we boot up any of the other machines. And wow, really? Yeah, we might need to turn off particles. Is that what causes the problems? So we've got smooth lighting on. Oh man, we've even got the minimal particles on. That's just how crazy these machines are. We can't even mine out trees. Destroy the trees. To the people in the chat, I'm only joking about the boring comments, and I'm sure a lot of them are joking too. To those of you who are trying to explain why people might think I'm boring, I appreciate it. That's so funny. I just saw someone say, like, remember, you're not boring, but you do have a fairly monotone voice, so some people may consider that to be boring. So maybe brighten it up a little bit. Thanks. Much appreciated. Like, you're not boring, but some people might think that you are because of this. I don't think I could maintain like a cheery voice for a full 5 hours. That would be, yeah, anyone who can manage to pull that off deserves a definite medal. Burn the trees. There's no fire tick on the Hermitcraft server, so that will not work. The fire will not spread through the trees, and thus we will not get ourselves a deforested jungle. It won't be particularly very good. Yeah. I mean, I'm reading through the chat, and literally everyone is saying that we should burn the trees, but no, the fire will not spread through the tree, so it will be pointless, and the fire will not burn out the blocks, so it's not going to do anything. So we have to do it the old-fashioned way, unfortunately. I'm still reading all of the chat comments about yeah, trying to explain away my boringness. The whole point of these live streams is that it's literally just chilling out. We're just gonna chill. We're going to just gradually make progress on this thing and hope that it all kind of comes together and works. And I have to say, I mean, I'm pretty pleased with the amount of progress that these systems have made so far, and I'm hoping that, as I say, we should be able to get the entire half thing done straight away in today's live stream, which will be great. And the reason why we're having to clear out all of these is because, unfortunately, I've actually built the flying machines a little bit too low, and they're just a little bit too close to the treetops, which means that if the TNT was to land on top of them, I think they would explode. And I don't really want the TNT machines to explode, because we spent a very long time building them, and that's never particularly good. So yeah, unfortunately, to those of you in the chat who are now telling me to blow it up, yeah, that's once again not really an option, to be honest with you, unless you were to run through placing in TNT, but that would take just as long as mining it, and actually I could probably do with the wood. It's actually quite useful to have all of this wood here, which I should probably pick up before all of you get very upset. But I suppose, hang on, I only need to really take out the trees that are high up. I think anything, I don't need to worry too much about the ones that are really, really low to the ground. We'll see. We'll see. But once we get these cleared, then that means that we're clear to use all of the other automatic mining machines, and they'll be able to just go on through and take out massive areas. Right. I don't know what we're going to do about the leaves, though. I mean, with the leaves, I guess, yeah, we just leave them to naturally despawn. I think by the time that we actually activate these machines, in theory, all of the leaves should have despawned. Right, let's take a look and see what sort of progress we've made on this. We must. Okay, yeah, we're right the way down to the bottom, all the way across. Nice. Okay, so it is mining out. So we are all the way down to the bottom, all the way across on those ones. That is a very, very solid start. I think it's just constant explosions. That's the thing. The constant explosions is a tricky one. And I hate these sorts of trees. Do you remember? See, I remember when I first started playing Minecraft, like, I used to absolutely love it if I got one of these big trees, but now I can't stand them. And they always used to... Do you remember? I'm trying to think. How do you force one of these big trees to grow? I can't quite remember. Do you place... What was it? There was always a technique. There was tons and tons of YouTube videos about it as well. You would place down the sapling, and then next to the sapling, you would place like a bunch of blocks, and then oh no, torches? Was it torches up the side of it? And then that's where you put your sapling, and then that would guarantee that the tree grew taller, and it would take ages to come up, but you would then guarantee yourself a massive tree, and that's what everyone wanted. And everyone would always, back in like 2012 Minecraft, when did they even get introduced? Have they always been in the game? I actually can't remember. I can't remember when certain things were introduced. I think I started playing Minecraft around about when beds were added into the game, so that was like quite a big... That was a pretty big change, because that was the first time that you were able to set your spawn. Can you believe that when Minecraft first released, you weren't able to reset your spawn? Like, you just dealt with the spawn that you had in your world. If you found a good place to put your base and it was 1,000 or 2,000 blocks away from spawn, it was like, well, that's life. you just have to run back, man. But yeah, I can't remember. I don't know if trees, the big trees, have always been in the game, or if they're something that's relatively new. I really can't remember. No, it's not 4 saplings in a square. That was much later on. Because I think the first tree that you could do that with was the jungle tree, and the jungles were just introduced when I first actually started getting into Minecraft. Because I remember in my first ever Let's Play, which is still on my YouTube channel, by the way, some of my first videos, I built up a base in a jungle biome, because jungle biomes were new, and I thought they were by far the coolest biomes in Minecraft. And to a certain extent, I still agree. I mean, it's tricky, because obviously I really like islands, and you don't really get jungle islands. If someone can find a jungle island seed, then send it over to me, because I love that sort of thing. But yeah, building on islands is always really satisfying, because you kind of have like a natural border then that you work around. Like, for example, doing this season of Hermitcraft is actually the first time I've had an island. My plans for Hermitcraft Season 2, which was the first season I joined, is I was going to make an island base, and then I couldn't find an island, so instead I actually ended up going into a jungle. But this is actually the first time that I've used an island, and it's amazing. I totally forgot how fun it is to build on an island, because you have that hard border. You can build things around it in the water. It looks great. It's always super cool seeing it. Yeah, I know, we need to move the beacon. That's fine. Don't worry, we'll do all of that stuff before we activate the next machines. But the first thing that we have to do is just get rid of all of these trees. And as I say, this is fantastic. I'm getting tons of wood here. Which reminds me, actually, I really need to use... I need to give my TNT powered tree farm another go, because I can't remember what happened to it. I think we used it fairly recently, and did it break, or was it really successful? And I thought to myself, we need to use that more often. I think within 1 hour I managed to get myself half a double chest of wood, or am I going completely crazy here? I think I might have gone more than that. One thing that I do remember from Hermitcraft Season 5 is TNT Land, where we built the TNT powered tree farm. That thing was awesome. I mean, you would get so many stacks of wood within such a short space of time. So maybe at some point, because also the TNT powered cobblestone generator was pretty fantastic too. I think it might be an idea to build some of those things. Was that Hermitcraft Season 5 or Hermitcraft Season 4? I think that was Hermitcraft Season 5. It all seems so long ago now. I can't believe how fast the time has gone by. Hermitcraft Season 5, that feels like just yesterday that started. Like, I can't believe how fast these seasons go. Like, Hermitcraft Season 6, the start of it feels like just yesterday, and we're now on episode, what, 78? 78! It's just crazy. And yes, to the people in the chat, I'm going to remove the beacon. I know that I appreciate your warnings. I do. Yeah, I appreciate them. But you don't have to spam them quite so often with the big warning signs and things like that. I'm aware. I'm not going to blow up my own beacon, okay? But I appreciate the help anyway. So yeah, you can stop saying that one. That is one fun, and I always say this whenever I'm live streaming. I find that so interesting about live streams, how one thing like catches on, because I've noticed that it's a bunch of people who are saying it in the chat, and they're all copy and pasting it from one another. Like I'm curious as to what causes that. Like how do things like that, like, it's not really a trend. Of course, now that I've actually said it, people are gonna post it a bunch because that's just the internet for you. That's how things go. That's why you should never draw attention to those sorts of things, because everyone will just be like, they will instantly, as soon as they hear me say that, they will put in the chat exactly what I've just said doesn't need to be in the chat anymore. Which I actually think is hilarious. I appreciate it. Internet never changed. If the internet ever changed and it actually became a sensible place where people didn't just every opportunity do something to frustrate other people, I would actually be upset. I'd be upset. I think that the internet has changed for the worst. Because just being able to do that, oh my word. See, now me drawing attention to the fact that you shouldn't, me saying that now everyone is going to put it in the chat, even though I've said that you shouldn't put it in the chat, has meant that now literally every single person has put it in the chat. You know what, just out of spite, because there's so many warnings, I'm going to blow up my own beacon. I'm going to do it. I mean, you know, we now have Iskal's Ridiculous Farm. Within 4 minutes, I can get like 10 beacons. It's not a big deal that I blow up a beacon. So I'm going to blow up this beacon. I'm not even going to care. And I'm going to watch and laugh as all of you just freak out in the chat. Just, no! We gave him so many warnings! Ah! I apologise to the moderators. I'm constantly breaking my own chat. I'm so sorry. I'm a terrible live streamer. I just do nothing but ruin my own live streams. I appreciate the person that just said not boring, stay. I like that. I like the variations of boring bye. Right, how much wood are we looking at? We should actually, you know what, I'm going to do this old school technique. So hopefully that should allow us to pick up all of the wood for the foreseeable future. I tell you what, for those of you who were here at the start of the live stream, so I mentioned that I was feeling really, really tired today, and I ate a bunch of sugary stuff before the stream started, just to get me, like, jazzed up a little bit, so that I could be ready to live stream. Well, I think the sugar is starting to wear off. I did say this would happen. I actually thought this would happen about 2 hours into the live stream, but we're 1 hour in. I ate a bunch of jelly beans. I drank a full Fanta grape, which is apparently they don't actually have these in the UK. So, well, obviously they do because I live in the UK and I've got one. But see, I drank these a bunch when I was in Japan about 2 years ago, and I thought they were the best things ever. I came back to the UK because the thing is, in Japan, like, there's vending machines everywhere, which is amazing, and there's vending machines for everything. It's fantastic. So you go to like a restaurant or something like that, and there's a vending machine on the outside with all the things that you can, well, it's not really a restaurant, but like a takeaway place. So you go up to the takeaway place, there's a vending machine outside where you order your takeaway through the vending machine. The order then gets sent from the vending machine into the store, and then they make it for you and bring it out to you. So everything is like vending machine based. And yeah, they pretty much the only drink that I really liked in Japan was grape Fanta, and I really, really, really liked it. And I came back to England, and it turns out that they don't sell it. But there's a little sweet shop just down the road from me that does. And I bought a bunch of it before today's live stream and just inhaled it. And now, I mean, I've just found out that there's 44 grams of sugar per can. And I probably had about 2 cans now, so I'm sitting on about 88 grams of sugar. And it is wearing off. I wonder what the caffeine element is. I don't even think about that. How much caffeine is a lot of caffeine? Because I don't drink coffee or anything like that, so I'd say my caffeine tolerance is actually probably really low. Like, if I reckon if I drank one of those triple espresso crazy Starbucks things that you can buy, like a grande nutty thing, I'd probably be bouncing off the walls for weeks. I think I've got like just a super low tolerance for it, probably. I'm now seeing different things. I can see there's a lot of warning signs in the chat. But none of them are warning me of anything useful now. I think all of them are warning me about the witch hut, saying that I need to do something about the witch hut, but the witch hut's already removed. I mean, we know where the witch hut is, so that's not going to be a problem. I don't know. It's a lost cause at this point in time. 18 milligrams is a cup of coffee. Is that a lot of caffeine? How much caffeine is in this? Let's have a read. Doesn't actually say. No, I can't actually see. How strange. I thought that had to be on there. It probably is. It's also saying all of like the tartic acid, potassium sorbate, sodium benzoatine to protect taste, apparently. Citric acid, and then a bunch of E numbers. But it doesn't say anything about caffeine. I wonder if it's caffeine free. It might be caffeine free. It is caffeine free. There we go. So there's no caffeine in it. That's useless. I want to take it back. I want more caffeine. I want to be bouncing off the walls. That's why I'm struggling to keep my eyes open. Ridiculous. Can't believe this. So what drink has the most caffeine in it? I know, so I listen to a bunch of podcasts while I'm making my videos, and I know that on Joe Rogan's podcast, they always drink caveman coffee, which is like a ridiculous type of coffee. It has, I don't know, a certain number of milligrams. When people say the number of milligrams, everyone goes, "Woof, that's a lot of milligrams, that's a lot of caffeine." So I'm not sure. But I have no clue. I don't know anything about coffee. People think it's really strange. I don't really drink too many hot drinks. I don't drink tea. I know I'm a failed Englishman. The number of times when I say that, especially if there's someone from America present, they will 100% say like, "Oh, well, you're not actually English then, are you? You can't be English." But no, I don't drink tea. I don't drink coffee. The only hot drink that I really drink is hot chocolate. And even then, yeah, I don't really drink it too much. My big thing is kind of like fizzy drinks. I absolutely love fizzy drinks. Dr. Pepper is just the best drink on the planet. No one can tell me otherwise. It's by far the best. I can't think of anything better. Nothing more refreshing. It's just the nicest. Pepsi Max is very good, but no, Dr. Pepper is the way forward. I mean, let me know your thoughts down in the chat. I'm sure you already are. I'm sure the crews are coming out. I mean, I'm not even going to get you guys started on Pepsi versus Coca-Cola. I mean, I'm sure you guys can start a war down in the chat, and I'm excited to see the points going back and forth because everyone has a favorite. And I mean, you know what? Here's what's strange. Like, I way prefer Coca-Cola. But I way prefer Pepsi Max to Diet Coke or Coke Zero, and Pepsi Max Cherry. Actually, no, I way prefer Coke Zero to Pepsi Max, but Pepsi Max Cherry is so much better than Coke Zero. I think that's the way it is, and I think that's the way it stays. I can't see it being any different to that. If anyone wants to tell me otherwise, you're wrong. Jeez. Drink more tea. Someone's just said drink more tea. Just forget all that nonsense. Forget this Coke and Pepsi Max talk. I don't know. Is there anyone that prefers Pepsi? That's got to be depressing for the people that made Pepsi. Do you reckon they even prefer Pepsi? Do you reckon the founders of Pepsi are sat there going, well, I mean, it is just, Coca-Cola is just better, isn't it? Like, there's just something about it that just makes it better. Oh, I mean, there's certain people in the chat that are saying water's better. You need to. I mean, you are. I love water as much as the next person. Obviously, if I'm at the gym or I'm on a run, I'm not drinking Dr Pepper. But I've no. I don't know. Like I've never loved water. I do. Water's incredibly refreshing. I'm not saying that I don't drink water, because I do drink water. But I never think to myself like, oh, you know what would be really lovely right now? Now that I've just said it, I've thought to myself, you know what would be really lovely right now? A glass of water. Like, I kind of really want some water now. I've just talked myself into wanting some water, which really is, yeah, it hasn't helped my point in the slightest. But no, just always. I used to pretty much permanently. It's only in the recent years that I've kind of weaned myself back into drinking water, because between the ages of like 14 and 18, I don't think I drank any water. I think I was either always just some form of fizzy drink or something. I was never drinking water. That's why I needed to get a root canal. That's what happens, kids. Simple as that. If you do nothing but drink fizzy drinks all day, then you need to get root canals. Which, by the way, I mean, I hate to say it, it's not a terrible experience. I pleasantly enjoyed my root canal. The new Red Hot Chili Peppers album had come out like the week before, so I put that in my earphones. And I tell you what, this is going to put some of you off. I'm expecting the viewership numbers to drop here. But when they did the anesthetic thing, you know, where they numb your gums, I didn't actually know that he'd done it. I had always thought that when they do that sort of thing, they bring out some enormous needle and then just, I thought it was all horrible and scary, and I thought there was lots of drills and things. But no, there was none of that. He just kind of tapped my gum with this little thing, and then poof, I couldn't feel my mouth anymore. It was amazing. I could do with that like at home. Like, if you bite your lip, I definitely need one of those just to be able to go boop, and then there we go, can't feel my mouth anymore. I definitely spoke weird for the rest of the day. I had a bit of a strange accent, and I think I had to take a few days off of making YouTube videos because my voice was all funny. Because I think everything was a bit swollen. Yeah, like the inside of my mouth was all swollen up, but it was fine. And I know, like, a root canal is meant to be like the most horrendous, horrible procedure that you can have at the dentist. But no, I thought it was perfectly nice. I enjoyed it. I would happily go and get another one. I'm glad people are still fighting about Coca-Cola versus Pepsi down in the chat. I appreciate that. I appreciate how much you guys are like militant about this. It's like, no, Pepsi's the best. No, Coke's the best. Anyway, I think we're done. Oh, we are 100% done. Someone's just sent in a donation tipping because you said Dr. Pepper is the best. Thank you, executive at Dr. Pepper. Clearly worked there. By the way, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I know that there's going to be people in the chat who think that I'm being funded by Pepsi and Coca-Cola. First off, I don't think Pepsi or Coca-Cola really care about a little streamer like me. But secondly, it's just the way I mean, where you know what freaks me out about things like Coca-Cola and Pepsi is that when you walk down the street, it's the only thing that I can really think of, apart from maybe mobile phones. I think, okay, so here's the thing. You can always, pretty much guaranteed, no matter where you are, no matter where you look, you can see a Coca-Cola logo. So there's either someone drinking it or it's being advertised somewhere. Like, if you go out in the street, as long as you're not in the middle of nowhere, okay, even then there's probably like litter somewhere that you can see. But like, if you're on the street, you are guaranteed to be able to see a Coca-Cola logo, and that's kind of crazy. And that was the same for even when we went to like the Philippines and things like that. In the Philippines, Coca-Cola's everywhere. And Coca-Cola is insanely cheap in the Philippines as well. It's cheaper than water. It's the best thing ever. So and it was not good for my hydration because I much prefer the taste of Coca-Cola as previously discussed. And also, it's really, really hot in the Philippines, so you have to drink a lot. I was just endlessly drinking Coca-Cola. I think there was one day where I drank, I think maybe like 12 or 13 bottles, and you know what? I didn't feel good afterwards. I think that didn't help my dehydration situation in the slightest. I think it made me feel a little bit ill. But it's pretty impressive. It sometimes scares me thinking about that sort of thing, like how big certain companies are. Like, if you think, how many Coca-Cola bottles do you reckon get sold a day all around the world? It's got to be an insane number. Like, think how much Coca-Cola is being produced at any given time to keep up with the demand for Coca-Cola. And everywhere you look, like every single restaurant you go into, you're just guaranteed to have stacks upon stacks of Coca-Cola bottles in a fridge somewhere, like liters and liters of stuff. Every single restaurant, every single bar that you go to, every single corner shop that you go to has just liters and liters of Coca-Cola. Every household has got liters of Coca-Cola just all stored up. It's got to be like one of the most abundant resources on the earth is Coca-Cola. Surely. Oh, it scares me. I'm getting scared. I'm freaking myself out. Honestly, the marble jar is emptying, not because I'm losing my marbles, but I'm just getting scared. My marbles are going missing. I should probably turn off those TNT machines. I don't think they're doing anything other than lagging right now. About 1 billion? 1.27? Oh. So there was a big difference. There was 2 chat messages next to one another that looked really similar. Someone said like 1.2 billion or about 1 billion, and someone said 1.2 million, but I read the million as being billion, so I was like, oh, they're pretty much the same, and I started reading it, and then I realised that actually those are just 2 people taking very wild guesses. I would be very surprised if it was only 1.6 million. But then again, I mean, no, it's way more than 1 million. If I was to take a conservative estimate of how many Cokes are sold a day, I would say 500 million. 1.8 billion. There's people saying, there's a lot of people saying 1.9 billion. 1.9 billion. 1.9 billion seems to be the number that is coming up a lot. 1.9 billion! What on earth? That scared me so much. How can they make that much Coca-Cola? Like, seriously. What? How? How is there that much Coca-Cola that exists on the earth? How do they even make Coca-Cola? What's it even made out of? Seriously, what is Coca-Cola made out of? How much water is being used there? Oh my word. And that's directly from Coca-Cola themselves, apparently. 1.9 billion Coca-Colas a day are sold. I suppose, yeah. I mean, you know what? That totally makes sense. I would say about 1/3 of the world has a Coca-Cola every single day. Yeah, easily. I mean, I definitely drink a Coca-Cola every single day, or something made by the Coca-Cola company every single day. I'm sure most of you guys do as well. So that totally makes sense that 1/3 of the world would drink Coke every single day. I wonder what like the ratio is for like the Western world, like the US. I wonder how many people out of the entire population, so say there's like 300 million people in America, isn't there? Or something like that. 300 million people maybe? I wonder what the ratio is that drink a Coca-Cola every single day. I would place a bet that it was like 85% or 90%. I would say 1 in 10 people don't have a Coca-Cola every single day. It's got to be. Like the ratio's got to be insane. Man, I mean, if Coca-Cola ever wanted to just do a mass destruction of humanity, all they would have to do is just spike 1 day's worth of Coca-Cola. And then, boop, the whole world dies. And like, seriously, everyone would be gone. That's all they'd have to do. God, one company with that much power. You know, we talk a lot in the media and in the news and things like that about how much control these companies like Facebook and Twitter have, and how crazy it is that they're so massive and they serve such a huge quantity of the population without really being too regulated. Well, what about the Coca-Cola company? God. There's 325 million in the US people. So I wonder, yeah. I reckon about 300 million of them have a Coca-Cola every single day. And so that leaves 25 million to not. Okay, maybe because Los Angeles, they seem to have The people living in LA, they seem to have gone off the world of Coca-Cola. They're now onto like fruit juices and smoothies. So we'll discount LA and we'll discount San Francisco because there's no way that they'd drink Coca-Cola. They're definitely drinking some kind of like organic fruit juice. So we'll ignore those. But yeah, no. Oh god, that's a lot. Nice. Well, I mean, you know, it's sometimes it's fun to just go down these avenues that they're companies that you don't even think about that much. So I don't think about Coca-Cola that often. But then if you think just how many people it serves. I mean, is there a company more widespread than Coca-Cola? So I don't know. I'd say it has to be Coca-Cola. Is there a company that more people use products of every single day than Coca-Cola? I'm trying to think of all the massive companies. I mean, the one that comes to mind is McDonald's, but there's no way that most people have a McDonald's every single day. No way. Google. Oh, that's a good point. Google is a good point. Yeah, I would say about 98% of the world is using Google. I wonder how many searches Google gets a day. Amazon, maybe. Man, there's people that are saying they've never had a Coca-Cola in their life. That's cool. Keep it that way, honestly. You know what I sometimes think? I sometimes drink a Coca-Cola and I go, I wonder if I would like this if I didn't know it was a Coca-Cola. Because if you actually think about the taste of Coke, like try and describe the taste of a Coca-Cola. Because it's a weird taste. It's really sweet, really fizzy. It goes like right through your mouth. It like knocks your socks off. It's a really odd one, but for some reason like the whole world has just agreed, this is nice. Like, it's funny. Oh yeah, China doesn't use Google. That's a good point. Okay, so that kind of rules that one out. I'm assuming, I mean, this is a very silly and uneducated question, so do not blast me for those of you who know. I'm assuming they have Coca-Cola in China. Like that, I'm assuming they have that. Because I know that a lot of countries have completely different brands and things like that. Like, for example, I was horrified by the fact that when we went to the Philippines, one thing that I really like is Cadbury's. I absolutely love Cadbury's. And in the Philippines, they don't really have that. They do have... Okay, so they do have Cadbury's, but it's a totally different chocolate bar, and it's not the same. In fact, actually, in America, do you guys have Cadbury's? I feel like you don't have Cadbury's. In England, we don't have Mountain Dew, so we lose that. So you guys get Mountain Dew. I think those of you in America have... You lose Cadbury's, because, I mean, one thing that I will say, I've been to America a couple of times now. Your chocolate needs to step up its game a tad. Because I ate a Hershey's bar, and... what is that made out of? Because I can't help but feel like it's made out of vomit. Like, it does not... It's not good. So you guys need to work on that. Someone from America hopefully is listening to this and decides to make a decent chocolate bar company, because Hershey's is not good. Cadbury's? So you guys don't have Cadbury's? I love all the different... I can tell that you guys don't have Cadbury's, because some people are saying Capri's, some people are saying Cabri's. Like, there's yeah, there's some interesting spellings. And okay, I should rephrase. We do have Mountain Dew, but we have a watered down. They have to call it Mountain Dew Energy, and it has to remove a lot of the E numbers and all of the crazy stuff that you guys are allowed to have in America. So we do have Mountain Dew, but it's not quite the same as Crazy Mountain Dew. And one thing that we definitely don't have is we don't have Mountain Dew Code Red. Unless you go to a specific shop, like an American sweet store or some form of sweet store, it has to be like a dedicated sweet store, then we don't have Mountain Dew Code Red. And Code Red is like one of my favorite things. When I was in Boston for Minecon Earth 2018, doing that interview thing with all the other hermits, all of the it became like a running joke that out of all the hermits I ate so much food. I was non-stop because you don't get any of that stuff in the UK. So I was drinking Mountain Dew, Code Red. I was constantly eating just all of the American sweets that you can't get in the UK. I was constantly going to ridiculous steakhouses, and I was constantly just eating way more food. And that actually, I hate to say it, that I was getting pretty slim. So when I went to the Philippines, I actually managed to get myself pretty slim. And that was the first time we went to the Philippines. But then after America and me just binge eating that entire time, I came back. I then went to Italy the next week. I binge ate there. I was eating pasta, pizza all the time, just going completely crazy with it. After that, I just completely ruined my diet. Like I just, you know, when you've had like 3 weeks of sustained eating rubbish, you then get into the habit of eating rubbish, and you just eat rubbish from that point forth until you do something about it. Because here's the thing, eating well is actually really nice. I love really good food, and I love the taste of nice kind of well-cooked meals that are healthy for you and good. But if you've eaten rubbish food for like 3 weeks before eating a healthy meal, you just get into the mindset of like, I'd rather eat a pizza. And then it's never ending. It's absolutely never ending. I just don't stop. Just eat takeaways all the time, get lazy. And as I say, yeah, going to Boston that time, and then going to Italy and just constantly eating rubbish there as well, meant that, yeah, from that point forth, my diet... Oh, and then it went into Christmas, and I was like, well, I'm not going to go on a diet before Christmas. And then it went downhill from there. And, yeah, but I'm trying my best to get back into the swing of, just trying my best to get back into the swing of just eating well. But it's so difficult because these episodes that I make, and being full-time YouTube, then working on the filming channel, trying to deal with moving house, trying to deal with all of that stuff, doing everything else as well, actually having some form of social time, means that the amount of time that you get to spend on things like cooking up nice meals and sitting down and having dinner and being able to get things prepared and things like that is really, really low. So you end up often being like, don't have time, I'm going to eat a pizza, or I'm going to eat this, or I'm going to have a ready meal, and that's not good. I'm sure a lot of you can't really relate to this because I'm sure most of you are slightly younger, maybe haven't... I don't know, actually, yeah, how old are you guys? Let me know in the chat. I'm interested to know the age of the people that are watching right now. Because I'm always curious. YouTube stats kind of tell half the story. Like my YouTube stats say that the average age of the viewer is about 19, 20. But there's also a decent number of people who, maybe younger people, who use their parents' accounts to watch. So it's difficult to know. Oh, you use an axe for these things. 19, 15, 18, 14, 31. Love it. 20, 29. It's private. I like that. I'm not telling you, it's private. 608. Congratulations for living so long. That's cool. So yeah, it's about right. A lot of people saying they're about late teens, kind of like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There's a few like 14s, but yeah, mainly there's a lot of 15s actually. 642. I'm 8. That's cool. I'm 38 in the US. Does that mean that you're a different age somewhere else? 31, 39. You absolute legends, by the way. I love the fact that you guys are watching. I'm the creepy old guy, 33. Bless you. You're not creepy. I hope that I'm still into watching live streams and things like that when I'm 33. That would be cool as. I would love that. I always love it when I'm explaining to people who are kind of normally about 40 and above what I do. It's always just watching their face is really interesting. They're like, so what do you do for a living then? You know when you're like at some kind of family do or something, and you're meeting people that you haven't seen since you were 2, and they're like, so what do you do then? What job do you have? And they expect you to say, I'm like a trainee accountant, or I don't know, I work in this bookstore, or anything like a regular job. And I'm like, yeah, I make gaming videos on the internet. And they're like, what is that a job? That's not a job. No, what do you actually do as a job? It's like, no, that's my job. I do that for a living. And then they just kind of give you this like blank stare, like he's joking, isn't he? And then you have to explain to them, how it actually is a job and how it all works and the back end of it and everything. And then they come away from it like, this guy is just, what? This is just so ridiculous. Someone's 13.7 billion years old. Congratulations to me. The Earth is watching. Or the universe. No, the universe is watching. How old's the Earth? I always get confused. Which is one of them's 13 point something billion years old, or is it 14 something? I don't know. Brian Cox, if you're watching, please comment in the chat. I'm also happy to receive a response from Neil deGrasse Tyson. If you're in the chat too, then you guys can confer and confirm dates. Oh, come on! There we go. Mumbo, do you still have the C63? Nope, I sold that one. I sold that one so that I could get my Alpha. My little Alfa Romeo project. So I know that one is now gone. It has been gone for the past maybe 4 or 5 months. And truth be told, I don't actually miss it. I thought I would, but no, the C63 was a really, really cool car when I got it, and I owned it for 4 years, and I loved it. But I love classic cars now, and I found myself not really driving it because it's a modern car, and I much prefer the experience of driving classics, to be frankly honest. So, yep, I haven't owned that for about 4 or 5 months. The Earth is 4.5 billion years old. The universe is 13.5 billion years old. So yeah, it's the universe that's 13.7 billion years old. God, I'm getting so... 14.7 billion years old apparently is also the answer. So I don't know. Either way, it seems like the universe is watching, which I guess it always is. So that's nothing special. But thanks for commenting, universe. Imagine how freaked out we'd be if the universe just suddenly said something. Like just all of a sudden, just out of nowhere. What do you reckon it would say? I like to think it would say bananas. Because that would just, I mean, I would then feel like I was like the the spokesperson for the universe. But like, if the universe just said one word out of nowhere, it just filled the atmosphere for it. It just went, oh, bananas. I don't know. What would it say? Would it say something really profound, or would it say something daft like bananas? Can you say something profound in one word? If you were to say something profound in one word, what would that word be? We're getting deep on this. We're getting deep on this live stream. Hello, Creeper. I saw you, but I'm walking past you. Right, I think it's about time that we actually... Yeah, the beacon needs to go now. Put your wood away. You are right. To the person in the chat who just said that, I probably should do that. So let's do that. These guys are chilling out here. They have been unaffected. It would say boring bye. That's 2 words, but I'll let you have it. And, you know, I should have expected that, but that would be the most funny thing for the universe to say. It just checks in with humanity and just goes, boring bye. See ya. And then, oh, imagine how freaky that would be, though. The universe saying goodbye. It's like, you're on your own. Now, you know what? I know people are telling me to leave the beacon. Okay, and I get that. But here's the only reason why I'm taking down the beacon. Okay, the only reason is because I would have to then fly 7,000 blocks to pick up another beacon. And I think to do that, just to annoy some people in the chat, I wouldn't put it past me. If I was in a slightly more kind of facetious mood, which I never know the meaning of that word. I always say that word without actually knowing fully what it means, but I'm going to use it in this context anyway. If I was in a slightly more facetious mood, then maybe I would do it, but no, I'm actually going to take down the beacon. It would say subscribe. I would appreciate if the universe spoke up once to just promote itself. I would love that. I have a podcast. You can check it out. Link will be in the air. Where it just starts promoting. It's like this Earth is sponsored by Squarespace. That'll be it. If it promotes one of those terrible sponsorship campaigns. This world is sponsored by CS:GO Lotto. Get your CS:GO skins here. This is not a scam. That would be the one. Just turns out that the universe is just memeing all over us. It's so funny reading through the chat. This is why I love the chat, because you can just see what people are saying in real time. It would say subterfuge. Yeah, I should have expected that. Isn't PewDiePie ahead now? I think he's gone back to being ahead of T-Series. I don't really keep up with it, but I think I saw that it was he was ahead. I think they're going back and forth quite a bit. I don't know. I wonder if, because it's crazy that someone has actually managed to gain enough subscribers to beat PewDiePie. Because I mean, for two YouTube channels to be on 80 million 80 million subscribers is completely crazy. Like 80 million. 80 million, 80. That is so ridiculous. I remember when PewDiePie was on maybe 600,000 subscribers. Seriously. So for him to be chilling out at that, that is an unfathomable number. Crazy. I think he's live streams on Sundays as well, because he always comes online. I think normally we're like the #1 live stream or whatever. And then PewDiePie starts streaming and just gets like 100,000 viewers and just completely just boots. It's just like, we think we're doing really well on our little live stream, having a great time, and then PewDiePie's just like, yeah, no, this is a real live stream right here. Slamuel donated £2.61, and they said, do you have any tips for a healthy diet? I can't force my whole family to cook stuff for dinner, and as a college student, I eat sandwiches for lunch all week. I should start losing weight. That's... I mean, I will ask the chat, because you guys are probably pretty good at this stuff too. The way that I always used to do it is... I mean, the best way to go, really, is there's so many different diets, and I'm so not a dietitian, but the way that I used to do it, back when I used to go to the gym all the time and be heavily into it, I would eat a lot of like chicken, basically. I would eat tons upon tons of chicken and just keep my protein intake really, really high, because also protein's very satiating, so that's what makes you feel full, which is amazing. So you can eat loads and loads of protein, you don't actually put on that much weight, and yeah, you begin to drop off weight. It depends what you want to do, though. I mean, it's tricky, and everyone's different. That's what's really tricky about diet and exercise and things like that, is that what I say for one person, like for example, before we went to the Philippines last year, me and Vicky went on keto, which is where you literally eat no carbs, high fat, high protein, and both me and Vicky did it. I was fine. Like, I was absolutely fine. I was actually having a good time, because you just eat steak and burgers and bacon and cheese and everything like that all the time. So I was having a great old time. But Vicky was really, really struggling, just because it just didn't work with her. Like, she felt really ill. She felt really tired all the time. Whereas I was functioning just great. I was doing fine. Didn't affect me in the slightest. Okay, so what we need to do now, just to give you guys an update, because I've realised that I've kind of started doing something without telling you what I'm doing. I need to place in the minecarts. So these minecarts here are what... I mean, I don't really understand... I do understand, sort of, how these things work. In fact, actually... if I can get onto here, can I do like a running jump? So that's the second one done. Oh, look at that, parkour master. That was impressive for me. But yeah, the way that they work, so these will crush back together, and Is that really how it works? Yeah, I guess it is. So can you see down there? So these aren't put together just yet. These are like currently in a separated state. But the way that it works is that detector rail up there is actually powering that TNT, but that TNT doesn't realize it. And then when it moves, it updates the TNT. This does something. I'm sorry, I'm not very technical. But this dead coral serves some form of purpose. And that stops the TNT from actually kind of dropping down, and it duplicates it, I think. I mean, I'm fairly certain. Anyway, we shouldn't have to move the chests on this one. because the chests are way off over there. So now we're going to boot up these next 3. Now, I actually wanted to fall down there, by the way. That was a tactical fall down, because the next thing that I have to do is I have to place in all the observers. And this is what's going to boot up the machines. I've just realized I haven't actually tested these machines yet. So, yeah, this is going to be scary. Kind of a bit worried about this one, because the problem is, if one of these doesn't work, none of them work. And that's an issue, because if none of them work, then we've got a lot of rebuilding to do in today's live stream. And you guys saw in the previous live stream, building these things isn't exactly like my smoothest. It's not the easiest thing for me to do. Anyway, this observer goes here. And let's see. Let's get rid of that. That seems like it could break it. I'm scared. Go. It stuck for a second there. Oh, look at that. That is satisfying to watch. Goodness me. That is so satisfying to watch. We did a really good job at deforesting that area, by the way. We did that so fast, I didn't even kind of notice that I'd done it. Oh, that is beautiful. Okay, so this one goes here. And then... boom. Good, this one loves me too. It's all working. I haven't actually... ooh. Oh, I need to replace the furnace. I need to replace the furnace. Has anyone put it in the chat? Furnace! Yes, someone actually put it. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad someone actually put it. But we don't need to do that just yet. That's a little ways away, so this one can go in. People are still arguing about Coke being better than Pepsi. I absolutely love the internet. I'm so glad that people get so passionate so fast on the internet. Is the other one on its way back? Oh no. I mean, the problem is that everything's getting so frame ratey, it's difficult to know. It does look like it's on its way back, though. We are blowing up all of that sidewall. That entire thing is just being absolutely destroyed. That shouldn't be a problem here, obviously, because there's no water, funnily enough. Imagine if we managed to flood it with dirt. It's just all the dirt starts pouring in. Right, okay, let's head over to this side. We'll get ourselves in bed, just so we can see what's going on and stop anything from spawning too much. But no, this is a promising site. I mean, we've got plenty of ghost blocks in the sky. Yep, so they've all disappeared. But this is great. People are arguing about Samsung being better than Apple now. I'm not even going to get into that fight. It's funny because, like, so at the minute... oh, no, should I even say what I use currently? Should I even mention what phone I use? I probably shouldn't, because people will get angry. Okay, so in the past, I always go back and forth. So the way that I use phones is that I will use a phone. So, for example, I'll use an iPhone, and then when that iPhone breaks, I will swap over to Android to see if one has got better than the other, basically. That's how I do it. So every single phone, I will swap between them just to try them out, just so to make sure that I'm getting the best user experience. And you know what? I think that's the sensible way to do it. I'm going to be totally honest. I would say I'm right here, because, like, for example, my Google Pixel that I had was a really, really good phone. I liked it a lot. But then my current phone that I have, which is the iPhone X, I actually prefer to my Google Pixel. I had a Google Pixel 2, and I prefer my iPhone X, so I'm having a better time on that. But then when my iPhone X breaks, I will then swap over to to an Android phone. I don't know what. I do quite like the look of that crazy folding Samsung phone, but it's insanely expensive. So who knows? But yeah, like that's how I go back and forth, and I find out what I like best. Like, for example, I hate to say it, my least favorite phone I've ever had was the Samsung S7 Edge, just because I found it way too slippery and I couldn't really hold on to it, and it got really frustrating. I would constantly be clicking like the side button, and I found that really, really frustrating. So that was my least favorite phone, and then after that I got myself an iPhone 6, I think. But you know what, like, I'm not actually that into phones. I'm really not. I'm very, very unbothered by them, to be honest with you. I used to be, but then, I mean, for the longest time, I got heavily into... So, for the longest time, I got heavily into the mindset of not liking bigger phones, and every single phone on the market was big. Okay, so this is still working. It's crazy how fast this mine's out, by the way. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But yeah, so for the longest time, I literally just had an iPhone 5S, and I kept that for maybe 3 or 4 years. And it was like the perfect size for me, and I loved it, and everything was fine. And then eventually, I think that's when I swapped over to the S7 Edge, and I just found it unbearable to live with. So then I swapped over to iPhone 6, and then I broke that, and then I had a Google Pixel 2, which the camera on that phone was like the best camera I've ever had on a mobile phone. But then I swapped from that onto the iPhone X, because actually what happened was the Google Pixel that I had, I had broken it already. I never really smashed phones, but I smashed this one. So I had broken it already somehow, and I can't remember how. I had cracked the back of it, because, you know, it has a glass top of the back, so I cracked that, and then when I was in the Philippines, it slipped out of my pocket while I was in a pedicab, a tricycle, and it got run over by a truck. And I was like, well, that is the end of that phone. Like, I was literally laughing, because it was just like, I can't wait to see how obliterated this phone is. And then we got to it, and it was fine. Like, the screen wasn't smashed. The only thing that had smashed was the camera, which was the thing that I liked best about the phone. So I kept it for like a few more months, and then eventually, when the new iPhone XS came out, I picked up a really, really cheap iPhone X, because everyone was selling them off used. So yeah, and I've stuck with that for, I guess, yeah, the past 7 months, and I like it. It's nice. It's cool, but yeah, the camera's nowhere near as good as the one on the Pixel. It really, really isn't. The camera on the Pixel was so good. Like, you could take photos on that, and obviously I've got a lot of ridiculous camera equipment, and you could take photos on that, and it would look pretty good. Like, it would look good, and the algorithms that Google uses for its portrait mode and things like that are just crazy, crazy good. Chicken breast is better than steak. People are now just picking fights in the comment section, and once again, I love it. I mean, that's an argument. Come on, let's start it. Okay, what do you reckon? What do you reckon, people in the chat? Chicken breast or steak? I personally am. I am of the steak. I like steak. Steak's probably one of my favorite things, because I finally learned how to cook it. So here's the thing, right? This is how it was described to me, and I love this explanation because it is so gruesome. But I think it is the way that I like my steak. So the way that I like my steak, I think it's known as Chicago style, is where you burn it on the outside and then it's basically raw on the inside. Like, that's what I love. And someone described it to me as if a cow has run through a burning building. Like, that's how I like my steak. Which is awful. It's a horrible way to describe it, and I would never recommend saying that. But that's like the best. That's the best way to have your steak cooked. So yeah. So I finally learned how to cook it properly by sending lots of cows into burning buildings, and then I have steak for years. I'm joking. But no, you just get the pan real hot, drop the steak on, and then you're golden. I can't wait. I realise now that as I've said that, I'm going to be ending up on vegan hate groups for sure. It's going to be all over Instagram. Oh dear. Yeah, beta incoming. The thing is, I have absolutely no... I love a lot of vegan meals. Like, with the amount of stuff that you can do with rice and vegetables and things like that. One of my favourite meals is pasta, pesto, mushrooms, nuts, that sort of thing. Absolutely love it. So yeah, but the steak is delicious as well. It's just all lovely. I've just got an email. I'm going to make sure that this isn't like you have been submitted to PETA for review. I mean, I did see that PETA were a little bit upset that people were saying terms like 2 birds, 1 stone recently, and they said that instead of saying 2 birds with 1 stone, you should say feed 2 birds, or kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You should swap over to saying feed 2 birds with 1 scone, which is like, that's so ridiculous. That's such a ridiculous thing to say. Oh my word. I'm reading through the chat. It's just a nightmare. Minecraft is better than Fortnite. Oh, he's coming out with the bold statements. Hey, whoa. What? 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 Have I built these 1 block too far back? What on earth has happened here? They've literally left them. They've left their things behind. What have I done? I've done something weird. What? I'm really confused as to what's happened here. Are these on 2 different layers? They do look like they are. Ah. Ah. I did build it on the wrong layer. So it needs to be 1 block lower. Okay, we need to turn these things off pretty fast. It's okay, let's see if we can build this in time. No, I can't. Right. Okay, so I've managed to build it on the wrong layer. So what's happened is I don't know how. Okay, I know exactly how. So the first structure that we constructed was we constructed it on the wrong height, so then I built it up, and then I used the one that was originally on the wrong height as my reference for placing in those furnaces, and that meant that it hasn't worked. So let's get that sorted. So what we're gonna have to do is I'll go from the left side to the other one. We're gonna need a bunch more stone bricks as well. And is it getting dark? Feels like it's getting dark. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll sleep. We'll wait for this thing. So what this has to do is it has to go all the way to the end. It's gonna have to leave its thing behind. It's then gonna have to go all the way back. It's then gonna have to come back again, pick up its thing, and then come back again. So that's how we're gonna have to do this, because unfortunately, as I say, we've messed up a little bit there. Man, the number of fights that I have started in the chat, it's almost as if discussing 2 like opposing things, people are just kicking off down in the chat. People are putting Clash Royale against Clash something else. How many Clash Royale games are there? Is it Clash of the Clans? Clash of Titans? I don't even keep up with it. PlayStation or Xbox? People are starting fights about that. Love it. I'm so glad. It wouldn't be the internet if people weren't arguing, let's be honest. Oh. We have a handful of problems here. What is going on? Yeah, that's probably going to knock me off my post, isn't it? Let's move away from there. What podcasts do you watch? That's a good question. So I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan. I listen to Fighter and the Kid, which is a really stupid podcast, but I enjoy it. That's what's blowing up my that's what's blowing up my walls. That makes total sense. Okay, so all of these are sat here now. But yeah, I listen to a bunch of podcasts, really. Oh, these poor salmons. Well, what are these? Are these red snapper? I don't know. But yeah, just tons of stuff, really. Anything that really takes my interest. I listen to a lot of people like Sam Harris, like sciencey stuff. Find sciencey stuff really interesting. So yeah, just tons of stuff like that. But nothing too crazy, nothing political. I get so bored of all the political stuff. So I tend to just stick with like sciencey things and just stupid things. Stuff that I'd like to listen to when it's basically just white noise for me. Like I listen to it just to chill out and do nothing. That tends to be how I kind of consume podcasts, really. Man, people are going crazy down in the chat. Every single possible fight that I can think of has been started now. Okay. Right, we should probably wait. You know what, we'll wait. Where should we wait? Right, the first machine. Okay, the machines are making their way back. We just about managed to take off there, which is great. Oh, I just thought we need to. How do we deactivate these things? I guess get rid of the redstone. We probably could have made levers now that I think about it, but for now we'll get rid of the redstone. That'll do the trick. So those guys, those will kind of stay there and chill out, and then yeah, we'll be able to fix up all of this. But we're making some serious progress here. Look at this. So if we do this, how many more times do we? Okay, we might have to do this 6 at a time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we've got to do it 4 more times. That's fine. We can do that. Alright, let's make sure that this actually makes its way back into place properly. And then we can lower down all of the furnaces and we can double the speed of this. I also only have 1 firework rocket left, which isn't the best. But I have managed to take off with just 1. Now that does not happen very often, ladies and gentlemen. We have killed it. Nice. Alright, firework rockets, and let's do this. You know, I'm really curious. I've been thinking quite a lot about the Minecraft updates and things like that, and I wonder if anything extra is going to be coming in this Minecraft 1.14 update. Because, you know, like we had foxes. Are we getting terminite? Oh, terminite? I would like a termites. Just little robot termites. But no, no. Are we getting like the termite hills and things like that in this update, or is that way off in the future? And also, I just thought we should we take this out? I mean, I suppose we can do that afterwards. We can use this as the template, even if it is going to make life a little bit more tricky. But yeah, are we getting more stuff for this update, or is it that everything? And are they now in the bug fixing stage? It's kind of difficult to know. So I've been thinking a lot about what sort of features I would like, and I really would love. I mean, it seems like the one thing that I like quite a lot is that it seems like the Mojang team are definitely listening to the community a lot more with their updates, which is obviously fantastic. I'm doing such a terrible job here. I apologize for the fact that I'm wasting about 1 in 3 furnaces. But yeah, it seems like Mojang are listening to the community more with their updates. And like, for example, just the simple implication of comparator outputs from the lectern, I think that's like a real good step in the right direction for Minecraft, because it shows that when new features are added, they're kind of sitting down and thinking, right, how could we use this in like a redstone capacity, and how could we make this useful in a decoration capacity and things. So that's pretty cool. I'm very curious to see where they go. And in fact, me and Iskal was speaking just the other day, and the more and more I think about it, the more and more I think that coloured slime blocks, like dyeable slime blocks, is the next big technical improvement to Minecraft. Because, I mean, the amount of possibilities that would come with that would be incredible. And like, you'd be able to run slime block lines next to one another. You'd be able to have independent... I mean, just imagine how crazy that would be. Like, even things like sending signals vertically upwards directly next to one another, like one block apart. You could do that with slime block lines. Like, coloured slime blocks. They don't stick to one another. They slide past one another. It would look amazing. It would be like a translucent block that also has cool colour to it. It would be so, so cool. Either that or slime block slabs. I mean, I know I've discussed that at length as well. The idea that, you know, you could have some half slime block type things. Why does that keep happening? But yeah, no, I would love all of those things. But I think some form of big upgrade or some form of big change to slime blocks would be amazing. And yeah, you're right. I should probably fix the furnace. Let's do that now while we're flying and while we're able to. But yeah, what do you think? I mean, you guys obviously are pretty opinionated. You guys either play or consume a lot of Minecraft-related things. I don't believe it. We don't actually have any repeaters. I thought I was being smart there. Thank goodness for feather falling, by the way. But yeah, you guys play a lot of Minecraft. I mean, what do you think about that? I personally, I can't see why it would be an issue, because to me that seems like quite a Minecrafty thing. I mean, we have dyeable wool. We have dyeable everything, really. Anything that looks like it should be dyeable is dyeable. It's all in this, isn't it? So, I personally, I would love it. Like, that would make such a massive difference. I've got my fingers very much crossed. I might even send it over to the Mojang team and see what they think. Just tweet them just endlessly. I'll be that really annoying guy that just doesn't shut up. I tell you what, okay, let me go through an embarrassing story. This is actually a little bit embarrassing. So, and to be fair, I haven't even confirmed whether this is the case or not. Alright, so here's the thing. So as you know, or for those of you who don't know, I started YouTube when I was quite young. I started when I was around about 15, so relatively young, and I thought, I can't believe I'm even saying this. So, at the time, there was a big concern in the Minecraft community that Mojang were going to be removing quasi-connectivity, right? So, you know, quasi-connectivity is something that we use all the time in redstone contraptions. There's very few redstone contraptions that I use without it, and I was obviously very scared that they were going to remove this. So I made a video talking about why quasi-connectivity was great. Now this doesn't seem so bad on the face of it. Okay, this seems like quite a smart thing to do. You know, I had like maybe 20,000 subscribers at the time, so in a way it was like it was a big audience being able to voice why it's not the best idea. All fine. Except I put a link in the description with an automatic tweet that would tweet Dinnerbone. Okay, I put that down there because I thought that would be smart. I put a link down in the description with an automatic tweet to Dinnerbone telling him, like, some form of ridiculous protest message. Something stupid like, bud switches must stay, they make Minecraft great. And then it was hashtag keep the bud. And I released this video I released this video, and yeah, I just spammed Dinnerbone for like 3 hours, and then eventually Dinnerbone responded. He tweeted me. He didn't even respond to any of the tweets, and he was like, I understand. I understand where you're coming from, and I understand that you're passionate about this, but just as a heads up for the future, spamming someone's Twitter with messages isn't a good way to get your point across. And I was like, oh no, I've upset Dinnerbone. And I mean, it was coming from a good place. Like, this is just in my stupid 15-year-old, 16-year-old mind. Okay, I thought that was great. I thought that was the way that you did things. And it totally wasn't. And I actually haven't spoken to Dinnerbone since. So, Dinnerbone, I'm so sorry for my silly self. I really am. And I hope you accept my apology. And I love the work that you do on Minecraft. I'm a massive fan of yours. I can't believe I did that. In fact, okay, so here I got a word for the wise here. So I sent out a message earlier on in the live stream asking you how old a lot of you are, and a lot of you were saying kind of 15, 16. Now, I remember when I was 15 or 16, okay, I thought I knew lots, okay? And I thought I understood how things work, and I thought that adults were... No, I didn't think adults were stupid, but I thought that occasionally I knew best, right? Now, I have got to age 23. I'm now 23. I'm now 7 years older than that. Or even 8 years older if you're 15, okay? I knew so little. And I'm sure anyone who is 30, anyone who's 20, anyone who's 25 will be able to tell you this. To those of you who are 15 and 16, just be aware of the fact that occasionally you're going to do stupid things, okay? And it's going to feel like it's great at the time. And then in about 6 years, okay, you're going to look back and you're just going to go, why did I do that? Why on earth did I think that was a good move? And I mean, that's just the way life is. But that is it, and it seems to be true for a lot of people. And I imagine I'm going to be the same thing when I'm 30. Like, I'm going to get to 30 years old, and I'm going to be like, I so thought I had everything together when I was 23, and I so thought I knew what I was talking about. I had no clue. I was so stupid. I think it goes the same, and 50-year-olds will think the same about 30-year-olds. It's like, I thought I knew everything when I was 30, and now that I'm 50, I realise how stupid I am. So yeah, I'm I just want you guys to be aware of that when you're in your teenage years is those years where you really think you know everything and you think you know best, and that, I mean, okay, just so you know, your parents, right? Your parents were probably, I don't know how to say this because I don't know if I'd find this insulting when I was younger. Your parents were probably cooler than you. Like, and it hurts me to say this because I mean, you forget that your parents are actual, like, human beings who have had lives. And as I've gotten older, I've realised, like, there's a lot of parents who their kids think are really lame and embarrassing and things like that, when they're really cool. They're really, really cool people. And there's a lot of stuff that your parents have done that you won't have done, and there's lots of things that your parents will have done that are way cooler than things that you've done. And when you realise this, you only start to realise this as you get older, that when you get older, you realise that parents are just people. It's like I know a bunch of teachers now who are really cool, okay? There's a lot of people that I know in my life that are teachers, and they're so cool. They have awesome hobbies, they, like, build awesome cars, and they have awesome passions and everything like that, and they're humans. But to the people that are in these teachers' classes, it's just a boring teacher who they don't like and keep setting them homework, right? But that teacher is really, really cool. They're really cool people. And I think when you start to realise this as you get older, and you go, oh, actually, yeah, everyone who I thought was just like a uncool person in my life, it's actually pretty cool. And and that definitely goes for your parents. You'll only start to realise how cool your parents are when you get older. So look forward to that. And actually, don't take your parents for granted, because your parents are cool by default by raising you. Okay, that's what you have to think. If you think you're cool, right, then your parents are just as cool because they are the ones who made you cool. And if you don't think you're cool, then that's unfortunate. Your parents are still probably quite cool, and don't worry, you'll get there. I had an awkward stage when I was like 15, 16. I mean, everyone always brings up my 1,000 subscriber special video. It's not a good look that I was rocking when I was 15 or 16. Not a good look at all. I don't know why I thought that hairstyle was a good one to have. And that was definitely at the height of my Coca-Cola drinking days. In fact, I seem to remember there are two 2-litre bottles of Coca-Cola in the background there of that video, because I didn't even clean up for that video. It was, it's not good. But yeah, I thought I'd share that piece of wisdom with you, because, yeah, old people are cool. In fact, I sometimes even like it. The one that really blows my mind, because as I say, I'm, you know, relatively young, is that like when you think of grandparents, I love hearing grandparents and older people telling stories of the things that they used to do in their young years. It's so cool, like sneaking out to go to, like when they're in their 20s, sneaking out to go to parties, and like there's tons of stories that Vicky's grandparents have told about how they used to climb over the military base fence and things like that so they could party with all the military people and things like that. Like, that's pretty crazy. And you don't think of that because now you just see them as like 80-year-old just chilling out in their sofas. But that's because they've done all their cool stuff. They've done all the cool stuff in their younger years. Now they're like, look, I'm done with that. I'm going to pass that on to the next generation. I'm just going to chill. It's interesting. I mean, I had the what was I just about to do? I came over here for it was to fix up this wall. I had the best experience just recently, actually, speaking to someone who is still certified 100% cool. He's someone that we actually worked with for the latest video on the filming channel, which was to do with British Racing Green. So that's like a colour that was always used on classic historic racing cars and is still used on British racing cars, essentially. And this guy, he is 86 years old, and up until the age of 81, he was racing these crazy historic racing cars, absolutely crazy cars. And when he was in his young years, he would drive cars that had engines from aeroplanes in them because they were more powerful, and they would have like 1,500 horsepower, big 24-litre Bentleys and things like that. And they would just produce crazy power, and he would just be flying around racetracks with them with no seatbelts, no airbags, no nothing, no anti-locking brakes, no stability control, none of the computer aids or anything like that. And he would just be flying around at breakneck speed. He was an absolute legend, and he's certified cool. Guaranteed cool. I'm sure he was really, really, really cool when he was younger too. Anyway, that's enough of that. I will stop talking about how cool everyone is. But, I mean, on that note, though, I'm going to round up the coolness note with the fact that if you speak to someone for long enough, everyone is cool. Okay? It's as simple as that. Like, for example, you know, even someone that you see walking down the street who maybe doesn't look like, you think, you know, you don't look very interesting. If you actually get talking to them, and not that I walk down the street and look at people and go, oh, you don't look very interesting, I don't want to talk to you. But you know what I mean? Like, you just look and it's like, that's just your average guy. As soon as you know, given half an hour with anyone, you realise that actually everyone is interesting, everyone has a story, everyone has something that they can tell you that is like a different perspective to what you have and brings something new to the table. So it's always worth giving people the time of day. That's what I've learned anyway over the years, is that, you know, just conversation and having chats with people, you realise how much is going on. Anyway, I need to get rid of this water. There we go. We also need to get rid of this lava. And I'm actually going to get rid of that water source over there. So yeah, everyone in the chat right there, I could pick any name out of that chat. Apart from you, Michael Lynn. I'm joking. No, anyone in the chat is interesting. Right, I've just cracked open my third can of Fanta Grape so that I can keep these life lessons going at high speed. Woo. I can feel those 44 grams of sugar seeping into my eyeballs. Going straight into the brain. Activating my synapses. Oh no, the TNT cannons are coming again. We've got to get past that. So, that goes there. We get ourselves an empty bucket. And then we have got... oh, that's a lot of lava to clear. Where is the source of this? Is it there? Yep, that's the one. Let's get out of the way. Pronto. Ah, there's a lot of lava down here. I'm gonna stand back. I can't remember where it comes in. Cameron Wright donated $35 for Super Chat. I enjoy your videos and all of your content. I love the filming channel and I hope you continue doing what you love. Thank you ever so much. I'm glad that you enjoy those videos. They're a lot of fun to produce. Really, really, really fun. Scott Walters, $2 through Super Chat. 27 and Mumbo is absolutely correct on this. See, look, trust me, listen to your elders a little bit on this one. We know what we know what we're talking about. We've all been 16, 15, knowing that we think that we know everything, or thinking that we know everything. And I can promise you that when you get to my age, no, 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 no. Oh, I so thought I was a goner then. Oh, I might be. I'm so out of here. Oh, jeez. That was scary. That was not fun at all. Right, is this all coming from this one water source? Wow, that's a good skeleton. You know what? I'm gonna break that off. I'm gonna take off. That's right, I'm gonna take off. That's right, I'm gonna take off. Yes. You know what? It would be much less entertaining, my live streams, if I could take off every single time. That's like 90% of my content is me not being able to take off. If I was able to take off straight away, the streams would be about 10% of their length. I think there was a spawner. I think there is actually a spawner down there. I think you guys are right. Not that I want one. I don't care about a spawner. Honestly, like, I remember actually back when I first started playing Minecraft, finding a zombie spawner or something like that was like, you were like, I am set. I'm gonna have the best farm on the planet. I can't remember the last time where I actually built an XP grinder, like a mob cage style XP grinder, other than the Blaze farm. But that's kind of a little bit different. They're a little bit special. But like, I can't remember the last time I built a zombie farm or like a skeleton farm or something like that and was genuinely excited, thinking like, this is it, I'm set, I'm good. I always build those sorts of things because I haven't quite got enough resources to build the next like big thing, the actual thing that I want to construct. Am I at risk here? This does seem like a risky spot to stand. Man, that thing has blown up again. Who is Mumbo's oldest fan? I actually know the name of my first ever subscriber on this YouTube channel, which was the Nordic Yeti. So thank you ever so much, the Nordic Yeti. He actually commented on one of my videos just recently. I mean, I think it was about 2 years ago now. And they didn't even say anything pretty crazy. They were just like, nice video. And I was like, you're the guy! You're the one! You're still here! Oh my word! Which is crazy. So to the Nordic Yeti, thank you ever so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel back in the early days. You're the best, and without you, I probably wouldn't be here today. Or at least I would have like 2.85 million and one less. But yeah, no, like, yeah, the Nordic Yeti, what a legend. I've always wondered, like, who is finding these YouTube channels to subscribe to? Like back when I had like 100 subscribers or less than. Being back when I had 10 subscribers, who was out there going, you know what, I'm gonna subscribe to this guy. This guy is the one. Like, I'm gonna subscribe to this guy. He seems like he's making good content. Because I look back, and I thought, this is another example of me being 16 and thinking I knew best. I thought I was making fantastic videos, right? I thought I was doing a great job. I look back and it's like, oh, these are really bad. What was I thinking? What was I doing? I was basically screaming into the microphone for starters. I had my microphone settings all wrong, so it just sounded like I was in a tin can. It's not a good sound for anyone. And yet there were people who who basically subscribe and go, this guy has potential. Like, it's not good at the minute, but I think he'll be okay. I find that so interesting. I wonder if the Nordic Yeti is watching now. Yeah, it's a good question. I'm subbed to at least 20 small channels. Well, that's good of you. I appreciate that. I mean, I subscribe to a bunch of smaller filming channels and things like that. And yeah, you know what? I'm quite a big supporter of smaller YouTube channels. But I just being in like the top 5, in the first 5 subscribers, I don't understand how one gets found. Yeah. I've actually just read a really interesting super chat. Let me just see if I can pull that up. Because I'm all about giving the life lessons today. Apparently, I'm in a life lesson mood today. And someone's just given a good life lesson. That's a very good one. So Dave Curry, at 35, I found the love of my life. Congratulations, and learned 2 things are most important. If I'm wrong, I can learn something. That is so important. Okay, because for the longest time, and I still catch myself doing that, like this occasionally, is that I know I'm wrong, but I will still fight the case. Which is so stupid if you think about it. Like, if I know I'm wrong, why can't I just take a step back and just go, you know what, actually no, I was wrong. I've learned something new here, you're right. Let's move on from it, and I've learned something. Instead, I'm like, no, I know I'm wrong, but I'm gonna keep going. So that's one of them. And then also, and I appreciate this, if I'm wrong, I can learn something, and the phrase, yes, dear. Yeah, haven't quite reached that stage just yet. No, I still fight my corner. But no, I can, yeah, I can understand that one. I think there is something to that, though, just putting certain things behind you. Like, yeah, okay, fair enough. Let's just end it. Let's end the conversation there. Oh no, people are watching my oldest video. I've just seen that in the chat. Yeah, it's not good. Mumbo, do you like jammy Dodgers? Of course. What, is that even a question? Now the question is though, jammy Dodgers or Oreos? That's the question. I mean, that's the one that you should have been asking. I don't know actually. I've just asked that and I don't even know. I think jammy Dodgers potentially. Oh, cool. I don't know how to say that name. Undopterignyuhu. Just woke up and missed the first 2 hours. Also, I want to see you struggle with my name. What an apt description. Undopterignyuhu. I think that was it. I think we're almost done with these ones. We're just waiting on them tearing up that area there. Jammy Dodgers, Jammy Dodgers. Oh, man. Oreos are better, dogs are human. Okay, that's interesting. Didn't ask, but yep, cool. Jammy Dodgers are Oreos. That's also an interesting answer, one that I wasn't expecting. This hole is looking so cool. I'm so glad that this hole exists. What are Jammy Dodgers? That's a good point, yeah. Are there any countries that don't have Jammy Dodgers? There must be, surely. Okay, let's see how much damage we can do to this area here. Come on, when can we start booting up the next machines? That's the question. I think we probably can boot up the next machines while these ones are running. Should we see what happens? I mean, is it going to end... The question is it going to end the server? Like, is the server just going to go, nope? Or is it actually going to cope with it? That's kind of what I'm wondering here. Because I obviously... Am I the only one online? I am. So I can kind of get away with doing ridiculous stuff. Because I'm not going to ruin the experience. I'm not going to ruin the experience for other hermits. Because I don't want to do that. Okay, let me just get rid of this stuff. And then we'll get on the ladder and we'll start flying these things, because this one's almost done. So I reckon it will only take a couple of passes. But to be honest with you, I'm too lazy to wait for it to fully finish up. Am I really flying now? See, when I don't want to fly, I don't understand. When I don't want to fly, I can take off the best. Like I'm one of the best. But then when I do want to fly, I just don't get any lift whatsoever. Anyway, let's see. Can I actually reach that? No. That'd be so handy. Right, okay, so we need 3 minecarts. And I've got to be a parkour master again, don't I? Ready? Oh, look at that. Is that a good jump in the world of parkour, or is that not really a good jump? I feel like because I'm doing it, it's probably not that good of a jump. No one's impressed by my Minecraft skills. I think I'm being good. This is the equivalent of the 15-year-old thinking he knows everything. That's it. Me being totally useless at parkour, thinking I'm good at parkour. Hashtag fix Mumbo's flying. Wouldn't that be the day? Use Grian's TNT service. Yeah, I don't need to. I've got automatic TNT. I don't need Grian's help on this one. No siree. Okay, let's go up here. I mean, in all honesty, like these TNT duplicators have saved me probably about a bazillion hours of mining, I would say. I'd say that would be my accurate figure. Anyway, this goes here. And then, boom. And she's away. There it is. Okay, the chest is still safe. Hmm. I'm not so sure about this one. If I look in this direction, we're fine. If I look in this direction, less so. Wow. I love how much damage the initial first pass does, though. It's such like it just chops through the landscape because it's clearing dirt. It's just like goof, 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 goof. It just destroys the entire thing. I mean, we're making really good progress here. How many hours have we've been doing this for 2.5 hours? So we're doing all right. We are doing really, really well. We've got about half the hole cleared out, to be honest with you. We are absolutely killing it. So thank you ever so everyone for joining me here. It's been interesting so far. And yeah, we're going strong. Man, that is literally a hellhole though, isn't it? I kind of wish that we hadn't done it in like such a cavey area. One thing that I am glad about is that we don't have the water-filled caves. They don't seem to be a thing that we have many of, because that would have caused an issue. Anyway, I reckon these flying machines maybe need a couple more passes. I actually think that this one can probably be done. Yeah, probably needs a couple more too. It's better to be safe than sorry. To be honest with you, these are only meant to be going down to y = 26. It's just out of the cool factor that we want them to go lower. Because I do like the idea of it being all the way down to bedrock. I think it looks pretty sweet. And nothing's going to be able to spawn on those spots, so we're kind of okay. Check your shovel name. Yeah, I know. Subscribe to Grian, subscribe to Grian, subscribe to Grian. You would have thought that has been in so many videos now and all of the live streams so far, and yet people are still pointing it out. This looks so crazy. Alright, I reckon this is the one that's going to clear it. find it so funny that the TNT just explodes out over there. I was about to ask, are we getting flooding? And yeah, of course we are. Okay, let's go and sort that out. I think maybe having 6 running at once is probably a little bit... It's just trying its best to update the terrain, and it's just gradually kind of coming in. I think the trident is the way to go. I think that's how I'm going to be taking off from this point forth. That looks so amazing. Doesn't that look the best? Oh, I'm so glad. I just thought, do you remember when I was just going to do it with the trapdoor? Oh gosh, can you imagine that? If I was just stood up there, just flicking that trapdoor endlessly. I think we worked out, didn't we? It was going to take 30 hours. Oh, I'm actually in trouble. I am in so much trouble because I cannot control my player right now. Okay, we managed to get away with that one. Yeah, I think 6 is pushing it. I don't know how much I'd like to do 6. Hey, you shouldn't be doing that. It's day. No, it's daytime. Have you not? Do you not know the code? That spider didn't know its own code. That freaks me out. Can you imagine? Unfortunately, I will have just killed it. But that's the one spider that's developed sentience in Minecraft. It's like a true AI. It has its own motives and things like that. And I'm like, oh, you're not meant to attack me during the day. And then, yeah, I kill something that could have been the savior of humanity. Why does my mind go to these places? I think the marble jar's half empty again. I think we're losing half the marbles again. It's bound to happen. I mean, we are, nearly 2.5 hours in. We're about halfway through the stream, so it makes sense that my marble jar is half empty. I mean, it's only right that it would be half empty. Turn off explosion particles. I have literally all my particles turned off, and it ain't helping. I don't know if there's a way for me to actually do that. I don't know if I can just turn off the smoke, just the particles. I mean, I've turned VSync off. Apparently that helps. I'm not sure. I don't even really know what VSync does. I've got 100 frames a second pointing in this direction though. And then I've got how many? 30. 27. Not good. Anyway, I would say we are probably around about done when it comes to those 3 there, that kind of batch there. So I think if we switch those ones off, then we will be able to clear things up. Hey, Joe. Yeah, that's about as much clearing as we need to do. As I say, we only need to go down to y equals 26. I actually like the fact that there's kind of lava pools everywhere and it all looks a bit dangerous. I'm almost tempted. Is it blown up the wall again? I don't believe this. This is just a patch up stream. Me patching up breakages as they happen. But yeah, I quite like the idea of all the lava being on the floor and things like that. Wow, someone from way back in the past has just put a super chat through on the on the that's actually a very good point. Hang on, I'll just get it up in a second. The way that I'm now taking off is I'm spamming my spacebar in the water so that I can hopefully take off. just silence while I just concentrate with all my might. Okay, so we are fixing up the wall. I might actually just chill out over here and like wait for it to just break again, because there's really odd areas that it breaks. I don't really fully understand why it's breaking like that. So that should hopefully fix up the water currently. God, it looks so cool though, doesn't it? It looks so ridiculous. But let me read out this super chat here. From Michael Stickel, who has asked, "Have you still got the Mumbo.exe has stopped working? That used to be the thing when you got a giant donation back in the days." That's a very good point. I totally forgot about that. I'll need to go and try and fish that out so I can put that up on the screen when massive donations come through. Because we are getting some ridiculous donations, by the way. Like totally ridiculous. So I'll need to chuck those up on the screen at some point because that was always good fun. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. Because I would genuinely I would break. I would stop working properly when big donations came through. I'd stop being able to talk properly. Which is yeah, nowadays I've had to actually learn not to do that because as much as it was very funny, it was also pretty disruptive to the stream. So I've tried my best to kind of get myself in working order at all times. Even though, you know, I mean, I'm not always functioning at 100%. Otherwise it wouldn't be a mumbo jumbo stream. We don't have Cadbury's in Canada. I love the spelling of Cadbury's that people are using. It's fantastic. There's so many variations that I've seen so far. Oh. My head. I tell you what, I'm never eating this much sugar before a live stream again. Because my head is pounding. I think maybe it might be wise if I run and actually get myself some water, because I'm sustaining myself entirely on grape Fanta, which, as we've discussed throughout this entire live stream, isn't exactly the best thing for you. And I think maybe the sugar has gone to my brain. How many is that? If I've had 3 cans, 44 times 3, 120 grams of sugar. I had a small bag of jelly beans. I would say it was probably about 100 grams, which is 100% sugar, I'm assuming. So let's say I've had 220 grams of sugar today. That is. I mean, that is a lot of that's a lot of sugar to have taken in. I think if I saw that in a pile in front of me, I'd be like, I'm not eating that. That seems terrible for you. Yeah, it's Cadbury. Yeah, there you go. Someone spelled it right. I'm loving the spellings coming through though. Cabri's with Z's. You know, one thing that we don't get a lot of Z's in England. There's very few words with Z's in them. When you see a word with a Z in it, oh gosh, that's coming in my direction, isn't it? When you see a word with a Z in it in English, you think it's just trying too hard to be cool. You know, I remember it was like back when I was a kid, and you would make boy bands, and you would always change the S's to Z's, because that was the badass. That was the thing to do. That was the way to be cool. It wouldn't be cool unless you had a Z instead of an S. And I'm sure at least 35% of you watching this live stream right now had some form of Z in your email address or in your gamer tag. In fact, how many of you right now have got a Z in your gamer tag? Oh yeah, no, of course the X. Yeah, no, you have to add an X in there as well. How many of you had X's like in your gamer tags mixed in with Z's for S's? I'm interested. And also, to those of you who are saying it's not Z, it's Z, you come to England, we say Z. And also, it sounds better. Z makes no sense to me. Sorry, I've got the hiccups. I got the hiccups from drinking too much of that grape Fanta. Gorillaz, oh, to be fair, yeah, Gorillaz are one of my favourite bands, and they have a Z. So but they get away with it. They're allowed. Ooh, water source. Aha! Thank you. These are so fast. I can't believe how fast they are. Ah! That wasn't my finest. But yeah, I can't believe how fast these things manage to wipe out huge areas of land. It's crazy. No one had Z in their gamer tags. I feel like you guys have got to be lying. Or was that a generational thing? Am I a little bit too? Am I a little bit? Is that like a? Oh gosh. Oh gosh. There we go. But yeah, is that like a slightly older person thing? Have you guys grown out of that? Was I in the generation of the X's and Z's, or did you guys still have X's and Z's? The silly things that we do. I mean, like my email addresses back when I was younger used to be so ridiculous. Someone I was actually speaking to just recently, they told me that. See, now this is someone that I was speaking to that I thought, like, they were like, you know when you speak to someone and you were like, they have everything together, like they know what they're doing, and they weren't that much older than me, but I was like, they have a way higher level of maturity than me. Like they clearly have their life together. They told me what their first email address was, and I couldn't stop laughing because I think it's hilarious because it shows that even people who I think have everything together and know what they're doing, still at some point in their life thought it was a smart idea to have some ridiculously stupid email address. I mean, to be fair, my public email address is the one that I mainly use. And when I give that out to people like banks, and for example, when we're buying the house right now, I'm giving it out to solicitors and things like that. It's like I say it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's Mumbo, Jumbo, and they're like, what? Why don't you have a normal email address like everyone else? It's not good. Not good, not good. I remember back in the Call of Duty days, I had like a really long name, and it used to be really frustrating because back when I was in like the I wanted to make montages and things like that. A good thing to get while you were doing a montage, it would be like a clip. So you'd be aiming for clips, and a good clip would be a quad feed, because in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the kill feed would have 4 names in it, right? So you would be aiming to have the whole feed be your name. That was kind of the goal. And I would always ruin it because my name was a little bit too long, and sometimes if you killed someone, their name would go over 2 lines. So then that meant that I would end up with a split feed, which isn't quite as good of a clip. So you could always tell people who were like really, really good at Call of Duty because they'd always have like the shortest names, so that would never happen. You know, back in the day when I was a Call of Duty master. I haven't actually played Call of Duty for years now. Like, absolutely ages. I've not touched it. Good grief. This Fanta fuel. Oh, I was about to go to sleep. Can you guys hear that right now? So I have got a pigeon. Now this is ever since I moved into this place. This pigeon, he just chills out in like so the way that my house is that it is attached to another house, and there's like a little bend in the house where the roofs kind of attach, and this pigeon just sits in the hole and just literally makes noise the whole day. I mean, I was about to say surely it gets boring, but then again, I sit in my chair and make noise all day. So, I suppose we're both doing the same thing. Maybe he's live streaming. Maybe he's up there streaming. He's like some next level streamer in the pigeon world, just having a great time. He's saying some really interesting stuff, and to me it just sounds like he's going... But that's like the ninja of pigeons. And then he's probably taking the mick out of me. He's like, Mumbo's in there, he's doing a live stream, silly human, he's only got 16,000 or 14,000 people watching. I got 3 million pigeons watching me. I don't know what I'm talking about. The marble jar is definitely becoming empty. It's on his way out. The marbles are out and all over the floor. We're almost at the bottom on these ones. No we're not. Can you hear it? Like, he's going crazy right now. He's dropping some new beats. He might not even be streaming. I think he's just creating some fire tracks. Move your storage. Yeah, I suppose I should probably stop standing around and actually do something useful while these things are going back and forth. I think that's probably the way to go. Is because I keep standing there and just watching. Now that I don't have to patch up any holes. I don't think there's anything. Actually, let me just quickly check for water sources. But I don't think there was any. There's a massive lava one there. But lava isn't the end of the world. What's the blast resistance of lava? Does lava actually do what water does? I don't think it does. Can people please research that and let me know in the chat? I'm sure people aren't going to research it and let me know wrong things in the chat, but that's totally fine. I'll try my best to fish out the correct answers. But yeah, let's move some bits around. I'm hoping... Do I have any empty shulker boxes? I don't know if I do. Not 100% certain. We've been streaming for nearly 3 hours now. That is completely bonkers. Okay, I've got one shulker box, so I suppose we can fill that in. Oh, I've got another shulker box down here. And to be honest with you, I'm not that fussed about dirt. I'm going to fill it with all the useful stuff. So things like redstone and this. And then things like gold armor and that, and that, and that, and that. That can all go. Even that one iron ingot. No, you know what? If I throw that away, I will definitely end up needing it. So let's chuck that in there. And then all of the stone can come with me. And then I'm going to grab these chests. And we can actually set up shop outside of the hole. I have no clue. I don't know what on earth possessed me to build my storage system inside the area in which I am meant to be taken out. I mean, what was I thinking? It doesn't take a genius to work out that it's really silly for you to do that. It really, really is stupid for you to do that, but that's me in a nutshell right there. I wonder how many double chests of items we're actually going to have by the end of this. I suppose probably not that many, which is a real shame. Now we're going to do all this mining, and we're actually going to end up with no real crazy items. Okay, so that can go in there. That shulker box is still left there. So I haven't exactly been the most efficient. Lava has a blast resistance of 500. Lava is just spicy water. Changed my mind. That's brilliant. Yeah, no, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I've got any form of... I don't have a way to retaliate to that. I don't think I could change your mind on that one. But yeah, it seems like it's correct. All right, stone. We're going to have so much stone. That is one thing that's going to be incredibly useful, is we're going to be overflowing with stone. So in theory, I should be able to actually make stone slabs for the rest of the season. I mean, how long do you reckon this is going to last for? So we have maybe 4... No, way more than 4. Maybe 8 double chests worth of stone. How long do you reckon that's going to last? Because I would place bets on maybe 10 episodes. I don't know where it all goes. It just seems to just disappear. I just seem to run out of the stuff so quickly. It's the same with redstone, same with slime, same with everything. Like, I just... Firework rockets, 100%. I absolutely fly through firework rockets. I don't even know where those things go. I'm so glad that I got myself set up with some form of gunpowder farm, because I would have absolutely no diamonds whatsoever by this point, because I shoot through them. And I have no clue how Grian manages to sustain his flying habit, because the dude, the way that you know that Grian has entered the room is you just hear this like that, and you're like, oh, Grian's come by, because it's just constant. The guy just does not stop. Honestly, it's like an episode of Star Wars has just booted up, and it's just suddenly on the fight scene. You just everything's kicking off. So I don't know how he doesn't use about 14 stacks a second, because it certainly feels like he is. people, I don't know if this is so 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 I occasionally see messages in the chat saying your mic is muted. Now, is that like a joke thing, or is that because it's not? No one else is mentioning it. So is that someone just having fun and just goofing around and trying to make me check my mic, or has that person accidentally muted their own microphone or their own speakers and can't hear anything, and now is like, oh, I can't hear you. What's going on? Is that like a well-known joke? I'm not sure. I'm not really, I'm not in with the streaming memes, or as I like to call them, the streamemes, or just streams for short. Sorry, I love the fact that I'm still saying Coca-Cola. Still people are saying Coca-Cola is better in the chat. I appreciate that you're fighting the good fight. You're still going. We're 2 hours later, and you're still going on that. I love that. Yes, it's a joke. I see. I see. Sorry, guys. It's just this. I'm not cool enough to know that sort of thing. I bet that person, if it is a joke, because it's clearly like a well-known troll, that person is probably having the best day right now. They're just like, yes! He actually read it! Oh, my word! He actually thought his mic was muted for a second. Don't put the storage that close to the edge. Oh, you are right. Oh, my word. Another schoolboy error right there. Oh... You're so right. I don't even have a response to it because you are so correct. Why on earth would I build my storage 3 blocks from the edge? What an absolute moron. And this, my friends, is why it takes me 10 hours to record a Hermitcraft episode. Because I make simple tasks much more complicated than they need to be. I would be curious to know... I would be curious to know what the average length of time spent on a Hermitcraft episode is. I reckon it would actually be quite alarming. I wonder what the total number of hours between all of the hermits. How many hours people have spent playing Hermitcraft. I know that my playtime is, I think, around about 35, maybe 40 days now. So I have almost 40 days worth of playtime in the space of... Oh no, I think 35 days. In the space of like 6 months. So 1/6 of my time has been spent on the Hermitcraft server, which is hilarious. But I would be interested to know what the total number of hours spent on the Hermitcraft server is. Right, we are getting there. We are shifting stone around. Put your chests where? Lots of people are saying your mic is muted now. I appreciate that. You know, it's gonna be a real shame when my microphone actually is muted. I've never actually run into that problem though. I don't actually have because I know a lot of people have like a button to mute their microphone. I don't have that, so I've never run into the problem. I've never recorded a video with my microphone muted, like accidentally. I've never done it, but I've had a bunch of other problems. You know, one of the weird problems that I've had recently is OBS not picking up the sound from... So, for example, I've done collaboration things with Green and Iskal and other people like that. And my computer, my recording software just hasn't picked them up. And it's the most awkward sounding like video clip in the world. I'm almost tempted to release it because it's so hilarious. Because it is so awkward. Like, that you can't hear them. I'm just talking to myself. And I'm like... yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like that, and it's so painful to listen to. So who knows? I might release them. I don't know. I sometimes think that I need to get like a 3rd channel just for posting. I like what Grian's doing with the 2nd channel. I think that's such a good idea, having the best of things. I like that. I wouldn't mind doing that, or doing something like that, but I can't make another YouTube channel. Really. Lots of people saying that I should release those videos. I don't know. I don't even know if I've got them anymore. I think I deleted them, unfortunately. But next time it happens, for sure. big thank you to Finn Simpson. Thank you for all the great videos. Also super chatted $9.99. Thank you ever so much. I'm glad that you enjoyed them. I'm having a lot of fun making videos in the minute. My schedule was slightly reduced this week just because it's been such an insane week. Sometimes I just get so busy that I need to roll back the schedule a tiny bit. And with us trying to finish that film, the mini documentary, do all of the house stuff, and also produce content, it was getting a little bit too much. But yeah, I'm in like a really, really good space when it comes to making videos at the minute. I'm just having tons of fun. It's cool. Like, the projects are going well on Hermitcraft. I loved doing the villager stuff recently. It's been so much fun. So I can't wait to get that all going, and I can't wait to have like an awesome villager trading hall that's so much better than Iskal's. Because let's face it, it's quite annoying. It's been annoying me. It's been frustrating me that Iskal's actually got a decent villager trading hall and I don't. So I'm gonna make a much better one than his, and I'm gonna gloat at him. I'm gonna send him a message. I'm gonna tweet him a screenshot and just say, yeah. This is it. This is what you aspire to be. And see what he says. And oh, by the way, I can't help but notice there's one of you traitors in the chat, messaged Iskal letting him know that I had said that I thought he was an incredibly smart and intelligent member of the Hermitcraft server. I can't believe you would do that. I even specifically said during the live stream that no one, absolutely no one, can send a message to Iskal letting him know, and you still did. So whoever it was, you're dead to me. You know, I'm joking, of course. But seriously though, like, if you wouldn't mind naming yourself so I can ban you, you're not invited to any more live streams. I don't actually ban that many people. It depends on how people do different things with YouTube, but I rarely ban people. I will only hide people that spread kind of like misinformation. That's the only ones that I really ban. Like, for example, I felt a bit bad for this one because this guy was genuinely just looking out for me, but they were spamming it on every single one of the videos, and that made it a problem in that they kept saying in the comment section that I kept calling myself stupid. Because, I mean, I call myself stupid all the time because I genuinely do ridiculous things a lot, and I think it's funny to call them out. Like, to call out the ridiculous things that I do is a fun thing to do because I do a lot of stupid stuff. But someone took that as me suffering from depression, and I had to remove those comments because eventually they actually started picking up steam, and then more and more people were getting in contact with me and emailing me, sending me links to like hotlines to call if you're feeling depressed and things like that, which is honestly, it's such a lovely community effort, and I love the fact that you guys did that because yeah, obviously it shows that you care about me and everything like that, and I absolutely love that. But good news is that it was misplaced. I'm not depressed. I'm just self-deprecating, as all British people are. Like, all British people constantly call themselves stupid. It's just the way we are. So don't worry, I'm totally fine. I'm feeling great. But I do genuinely really appreciate the fact that that you guys were doing that to try and help me out. But as I say, it was slightly misplaced. So I had to hide that person from my YouTube channel because their comments were picking up some serious steam, and there was a growing concern for me down in the comment section. But yeah, as I say, see, look, people in the chat are saying, yeah, I remember seeing those comments. I was genuinely concerned by. Yeah. Man, people are still talking about the number of searches on Google per second. Someone said there are 63,000 searches on Google per second. That's a lot. We were talking earlier on in the live stream about what the most used, or most... Yeah, most used... No, not most used. Like, most sold item is. I still think Coca-Cola. Unless you consider a Google search a sale. Which maybe you do. Tara Hall donated $25 through Super Chat. Your filming style is so beautiful and distinctive. The newest one is so lovely. And I'm looking forward to the day when I can say I watched the award-winning documentarian make silly Minecraft videos way back then. What a lovely comment. Thank you ever so much. I'm glad that you enjoy the film. That was a fun one to create. We created all of that in one day. It was kind of stressful That was the first time we were working with a client. So in case you weren't aware, we literally filmed, that was a commercial job. So we were filming a commercial for Omologato watches, which is a brand that I personally absolutely love. I own one of their watches. Vicky bought me one for my birthday. It's the Quadrifolio, which is to do with my Alpha, so it means the world to me. And I've known the person who founded the company through the internet for years. And yeah, he got in contact with me about a month ago, asking me, saying, hey, we're going to be going out in these vintage Bentleys, historic Bentleys. Do you want to come along and film it? And we'll turn it into a little mini documentary / commercial for my watch company. And I was like, yes, that would be amazing. So yeah, we put it all together, and I'm so proud of how it all turned out. How fast did you go in the Bentley? I didn't actually drive it, but Stuart Morley is a racing car driver. He's a historic racer, so he actually races that little car. And I don't know, he went fast past us. He was going at good speed considering how old that thing is. Okay, I would say, let's get the wood out of here, the redstone, coal. Oh yeah, the iron blocks and the diamonds and the beacon. I was about to forget those. We really don't need any of this. Why am I taking this with me? We definitely need the TNT, more iron, and all the firework rockets. Okay, let's move all this junk over. And then what we'll do is that this is we'll probably be able to activate the next machines now. I mean, surely these things have been going back and forth for probably the best part of half an hour now. Yeah, because we've just passed the 3-hour mark. So we've been doing this for at least 15 minutes with those things working in the background. Let's have a look. Cool, we are making some serious progress, aren't we? Nice. So that spot there is the only spot that we need to fill in. And I don't have my bucket. So we'll get all of that filled in. I actually think that in today's live stream we might be able to fill out the entire area. Let's see. Okay, so all of the TNT has gone past, so in theory we should now be safe. So I'm going to go in with my bucket, and we're going to clear this out. And then I think I'm going to go and get myself a drink of water. Is that a safe jump to make? I think it is. See, look, when I don't really want to fly, I wasn't that fussed about flying then. I can fly just fine. Okay, that's all good. Wow. That is the first time I've taken off in one go for... I don't even know. Okay, these three are going to dodge the chests. So we are safe, but to be extra... Oh, wow. Oh, my word. If I had activated that, I can't believe it. If I had activated the system and just knocked out all of that wood and all of that iron and everything, I don't think I ever would have heard... God, I don't think I would have ever been able to live that one down with the chat. I think everyone, the chat would just be 100% spoons, spoon emojis for the rest of the Hermitcraft season. Every single time I streamed, it would just be constant spoons in the chat, just non-stop. Just a stream of them. You'd see like messages whiz past, but then it would just be spoons just constantly. Okay, let's get rid of the diorite. We really don't need the diorite. We do need the stone. We do need the firework rockets for sure. Man, why do I have so much just junk? Like clay. I probably don't even need that wood. We have so much wood. That's not a big deal. So other than that, that's all useless. We don't really need an iron sword, that's for sure. Don't need that. 7 diamonds, that will come in handy. We don't need any of the prismarine stuff. A little bit of coal never goes amiss. That iron, we don't need that. A little bit of coal. Once again, the iron, don't care. Coal. That's empty. Don't really need that. We don't really need that. We do want that coal. So we can swap that out for that. We don't need that. We don't need that. And we don't need that. That chest is pretty much empty. This one is filled with diamond shovels. This one is a really, really important one because that's all the good stuff. So we can get rid of the bones, just the random bones that are sat in my inventory. This is what I mean about me just carrying junk with me. Nice. The chat is just 100% spoons at this point in time. Which I appreciate it. I appreciate the number of spoons that are going through the chat right now. Everyone type spoon in the chat. It's getting dark, so we're going to have to move the bed. That's another thing that we need to do. And in fact, if I sleep in it now... No sleep, please. Just so that I can get myself ready and set up. Because I do not want... I mean, can you imagine if I died... If I die and lose myself, it's really not going to end well. Okay, all these chests are fine. We can blow these up. Oh, those are anvils. Those will actually be very useful. Okay, I'd say we're good. So hopefully... we can chuck this bed down and just instantly sleep. Nice! There's non-stop spoons. I don't know what to say. I've had non-stop spoons as well in my donations, super chats. I've also just had another. I've had another call. I think about 99% of the messages in the chat are call someone. Generally Mumbo. A lot of people are just saying call Mumbo, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the call Mumbo messages. I would love to see it if I could call myself. I think we actually discussed this in the first live stream. That I wonder what happens if you call yourself. Because I thought it would maybe just hum. So, I don't know. Can you call yourself? If you have 2 phones, you can definitely do it. Because then you can put the next one another. And then, yeah, I think it would just escalate to a hum. Right, I'd say... So everything that is of value is now cleared from all those chests. Am I right? I think I am. I normally am. Let's be honest. I'm never not wrong. So let's just do another quick double check. So that one, rubbish, rubbish. Yep, that's all rubbish. That's all rubbish. That's all rubbish. There's nothing good in there. There's nothing good in there. And to the people in the chat who are undoubtedly going to be saying, there's loads of iron in there. What are you doing? There's tons of iron. You could use that iron. We have an enormous iron farm on the Hermitcraft server. I cannot remember the last time I actually smelted iron. So, no. Iron is probably the most useless thing. Alright. Let's get this rolling then. Oh, no! Whoa! It's always interesting, especially when someone like Cubfan logs in. Cubfan has got a pretty gnarly... Okay, we have a lot of... I seem to just be propelled then. I was constantly being propelled. The lag is always interesting. It always does something slightly different every single time. Now... Well, oh, Oh, nice. Oh no. Nice. We killed the server. We killed the server. I don't know if we did actually. I think it was only me that got logged out then. So did I what happened there? Did I overload something? I don't know. But okay, we're in F5 mode now. I wonder if... Oh no, I was going to turn these things off. That was the whole reason I was landing. Anyway. We can stop that one. Because, yeah, we have now reached the point where... Actually, this one could probably do with a little bit more, to be honest with you. Because we need to take out that little chunk right there. But then I think what we're going to do is we are going to boot up the next system. The next 3. So my minecart... Where did I put all my minecarts? They've gone somewhere. I'm fairly certain I had some gear in here. So we've got 15 diamonds in there. We've got a bunch of shulker shells. I'm definitely going to forget about these items. And that's going to hurt me. Because I'm gonna totally forget about them. And then I'm going to be like, oh, where have all my shulker shells gone? And they'll all be over by the perimeter. I'm surprised they didn't actually get blown up. I'm very impressed by the fact that they didn't get blown up. But if we then move this thing around... Wow, it's nice to see all of you. We're still maintaining 15,500 viewers. And that's after I've done... How many streams now? This is my 3rd live stream. I'm very, very impressed by that. I would have thought the hype would definitely have died down. But you guys are still enjoying the live streams, which is brilliant. I don't know how often I'm going to do them. I mean, I've been doing them weekly at this point. I don't know if that's a plan for the foreseeable future. I think it's just whenever we have a project that could do with a live stream. Okay, so I'm going to have to place in the minecarts, and then we're going to have to run off and grab some observers because I've forgotten those. Whoa. Okay, my extreme parkour jumps, my super professional parkour jumps might not be as easy in this current situation. I think... Mumbo, does your shop have pumpkins? Should do. We might actually be making a sale, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I should be selling to Concorp, considering we are setting up our Amazon business. And that is in direct competition with Concorp. Although, don't tell Concorp that because they're pretty hardcore with their pranks. But yeah. I think in theory, it should have pumpkin still in it. Okay, let's see. If I just leave this as a staircase, surely that makes life easier for everyone involved, yeah. Okay, so that guy's just come back. Oh, I totally wanted him to be switched off. Okay, well that's going to go back and forth. I mean, there still are a few little stony areas down there, so I suppose they probably could do with a little bit of work. But yeah, for the most part, this is all looking good. I'll send this off on one more voyage, and then we can do it again. We can boot up the next ones. All right, let's be real careful here. So here goes. Minecart. That's what I'm all about. Professional Minecrafting. Right, and then watch this. Ready? Taking off first time. Yes, that was a good takeoff. You know, actually, someone said down in the chat that the way that I should do it is fire a rocket and then spam my spacebar, and then it will work. Or fire a rocket. When it allows you to fire a rocket, then just spam your spacebar endlessly, and then that's when you're able to take off properly. And it did seem like it was a good move. Is it getting dark again? No. Do you ever feel it? Do you ever get that when you're playing Minecraft and you think it's getting dark and then you look up, it's like still midday? I get that a lot. I think my eyes just struggle to adjust. They like readjust on the new light. Okay, so this is how many do we have left to do? So we have I imagine, so you've got this set, then this set, and then the last two. And how many have we done in today's episode? 2. Okay. Okay. This is a little bit longer than I was expecting it to be. But that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I am tempted to start booting up more at a time, though. I mean, it's balancing the lag situation. I don't want to destroy the experience for everyone else on the Hermitcraft server. But on the other hand, it's a slow one. It's definitely, we're on a bit of a slow course at this point in time. And I'm filling that hole because I have fallen off that thing probably every single time. Concord retired after the war. I think they went on like a break. I'm not certain they retired, although they might have done. And if they did, that's very interesting. Right, so we'll go up this higgledy-piggledy staircase here. Alright, so this needs to go this way. And then when this goes this way... See you later. And see you later. You know what I have just realised? So if we do 4 at a time, then we only have 2 more of these little sections to do. So let's place in the minecart. Oh, that would not have been good if I had activated this thing, because that would have totally blown itself up. But yeah, so if we do 4 at a time, then that leaves us with only 4 left to finish up this side of the hole. And then that will be this side of the hole all done, which is extremely exciting because, I mean, that is 500,000 blocks taken out. So that is no joke. That is seriously no joke. I mean, it's actually, I think it's more like 700,000. And we went right the way down to bedrock as well. In fact, someone do the maths on this. Alright, so it is an 86 by 160. Oh, jeez. I think I got lucky there. No! My stuff! Oh! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No! Stop the TNT! Oh no! Oh yay! My stuff! My stuff's fine! Oh! It's been saved! I don't know how it's been saved! I think I might have lost my pants. No! The Fork of Friendship! Oh no, my pants! And my Fork of Friendship! How has that happened? How did that stuff not get blown up? I do not understand. Did the flying machines blow themselves up? I mean, it seems as though the flying machines blew themselves up. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, oh yeah. Okay. So, we lost some flying machines. That was to be expected. I thought that they would clear it. Yeah. Not the best. Not exactly the best, but it could have been so much worse, as I was 100% certain that my stuff was blown up there. And we actually managed to keep all the stuff. So that's absolutely amazing, because otherwise that would have been just the most frustrating. I would have been so upset. So that's all good. That's always interesting when that happens. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. To the person that just super chatted, to the person that just super chatted about the Fork of Friendship being saved, it is amazing how many times we have had close calls with the Fork of Friendship, and it still seems to prevail. I don't know. I mean, it's almost been lost in lava a bunch of times. It's yeah. I mean, it's a sign of true friendship that thing is still going strong after all these years. Well, I say all these years. I mean, after all these months. It's literally been maybe months. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we just ignore this strip for the time being. I will rebuild those flying machines at some point after the live stream. But I think for now, I'm going to do the other 4. So these last 4 here, we're gonna crack on with. I cannot believe though that we managed to get all of our stuff back. That was a very, very close call. Oh man. I have to be careful. So that one's still going. There's 2 that are still going. I'll just leave them to it. I have no clue what's going on. Right. So because that just happened, I mean, I am 100%. I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to clear out every single tree and every single potential thing that could blow me up. I can't believe I died though. I don't know why I didn't expect that. What was I doing? I must have just flown straight past the TNT things and then just literally just stood next to them. What sort of mentality did I have then? That's so strange. Sorry. Drink break. Well required. Definitely needed. But yeah, I don't know what that was all about. As I say, that is just clear proof that marbles have been lost. Marbles are gone. 100% the marble jar has been tipped and smashed. And I appreciate... See, this would be a good point in time to spam spoons in the chat. You guys prematurely spammed spoons in the chat, when in reality it was much better. This is the best time for it. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually fly my way back over to the base. Come on! Come fly with me. Let's fly away. Yeah, that's it. Oh, I'm on my way. Yeah, I'm going to take off. Oh, yeah. I'm just going to make my way back like this. Apparently. Oh, this is new. There we go. That might have been a new record. That genuinely might have been a new record. Yeah, a lot of people predicted that. Burn the marble jar. I agree. Jeez. I see that the The, Nightbot. We're running Nightbot on this stream, and I guess people are spamming spoon emojis, and it's just having a field day. Poor little Nightbot having to work really hard. Thank you to Tron Gamer 38. I like your stream. Thank you ever so much. I like you. You seem nice. What is this beacon? Is this mine? There's just a beacon sat there. I tend to leave beacons wherever I am. I just like literally leave them lying around. So whenever I see like a beacon out in the wild, I just think to myself, I wonder if that's mine. I wonder if I've left that there. I probably have. Okay, let's see. So what we need is golden carrots. Now let's see, do we have any of those? If not, we can pop into the shopping district and maybe get away from the project a little bit, because you know we've been over there for nearly 3.5 hours now. So we've been chilling out for long enough in that area. There's 8 golden carrots. I ate 8 golden carrots. There's 2 more. They're all named subscribe. Okay, we might need to go out and buy some of these. Right, let's pop through into the shopping district then. I haven't actually been on the Hermitcraft server for the past couple of days. I wonder if anything's changed in the shopping district. Be interesting to see. It's cool. That's the best thing about being on like a multiplayer Minecraft server, is that you take a few days off, and then suddenly something new's popped up, or a new project has been started. You have a message in your Discord that's like, hey, do you want to be part of this? It's always fun. So I would say that's like the biggest benefit of being on like a large multiplayer server. You know, it's funny. I mean, there is definitely benefits to playing on single player. Like, for example, one of the benefits of playing on single player is that you don't get this sort of thing happening where the connection to the server is a little bit rough. I mean, it would be very nice if we could solve those problems, but I think we've all just kind of come to the conclusion that Hermitcraft just is struggling. The server is struggling a tiny bit with the number of people that are online, the number of massive farms that are constructed, the number of entities. The oceans don't help. I mean, oceans filled with fish just does not help the situation. So there's all sorts of things at play there with the connection. So that's the one bad side of being part of a multiplayer server. But one of the coolest things about being part of a multiplayer server is, of course, the fact that there's other players there that build really, really cool stuff. So that's always good. 1 diamond per stack. Boom, boom. I have a stack. Did I miss the I missed the stack. Oh well. I got so many diamonds, I can just throw the diamonds on the floor. I'm even gonna throw those golden carrots on the floor. They're called subscribe. Hopefully someone picks them up and goes, Mumbo's definitely been here. Oh, no way. So all of the Concorp stores are closed. I mean, I know they're closed, but I've still been shopping in them. But that's interesting. I have a stack of golden carrots in my bulk storage. That's fine. I have stacks of things everywhere. But thank you, Rahul Vasvani, for the $1.99 donation through Super Chat. It's much appreciated. Grian has got a very, very magnificent looking base, doesn't he? It's very cool. It was funny, we just kind of both had like a wall of scale. Like we both kind of scaled upwards and just both made like massive monument type things. It's fun. I like being next door neighbours with Grian. It's pretty cool. So we need... Oh, my polar bear cannot help but just live on the edge. I don't know what it is. I have really, really just thrill-seeking polar bears. They love to be on the edge of my base. They refuse to get inland. They just they just chill out on the edge. They just refuse to move from there. So we've got those. We need firework rockets now. You can have 8 dupers running if half are sent when the other half is coming back. The amount of lag will be same as having 4. That's not a bad move. I don't know if the lag is actually caused by the explosions or just the flying machines running. I think the flying machines themselves, they cause like lighting updates and things like that on the floor, which causes a lot of lag in of itself. But I do think that would probably help. I do think that would help. Yeah, guys, so people are saying that I haven't noticed the creeper head in my base. I have. I've mentioned it a bunch of times. I've got a charged creeper head in my base. It's pretty cool. We got them when we were out killing on the Civil War field. And yeah, it's pretty great. But I've mentioned it every single time I've walked past. I don't need to mention it 24/7. I now know why one vid takes 10 hours. Yeah, you're right. I stand around. And you know what's funny is that me and Green are exactly the same. I watch Green in his base sometimes. The dude just jumps around. He literally just stands there and just jumps. And I'm the same as well. Like, we just kind of just bounce around. That's a good question from Michael. Michael Stickel. Michael Stickel? I've butchered your name, I apologise. Are you still telling yourself that this is not your base, just your storage system? If so, when are you starting your actual base? Now, the point of this... So, I always described it as being the storage system because I wanted my base to expand out around the storage system. So, the way that I've done my bases in the past is they've been really big geometric shapes that have like a pattern. Whereas, I wanted to create a big geometric shape that is sort of a pattern, but then everything around it to be more organic. So like the city is kind of sprawling out from around the base, and I really like that way of doing things. Just creating like... Yeah. It's cool. Right, I can never remember where this is. Am I even heading in the right direction? You guys will know. Yeah, I occasionally watch Green in his base. I'm amazed that I managed to find that. That was pretty... Oh, I've probably broken the flying machines. That's amazing that they haven't broken. Oh, of course, they're still being loaded by the camera account. Thank goodness for the camera account, otherwise this system would be broken. Not that we still... Oh no, yeah, we do still need this one. Woo. So yeah, this one's still doing the work. Okay, so these are the 4 that I really want to activate. So we have a clear path there. We have a semi-clear path on this one. There's just... Oh, okay. No, we do not have a clear path on this one. How could I not have noticed the trees that are directly underneath? So we have a semi-clear path on this one, and then we've got a lot of deforesting left to do on the other one. But I suppose I should probably deactivate the other flying machines that are currently flying around. Man, this forest is so dense. It's crazy. When did they actually add these biomes? I can't remember. Was it Minecraft 1. I want to say 1.7. Is that a stupid one? 1.7? Minecraft 1.7, when they added the biome update. I'm just trying to think. I'm kind of losing perspective of when the updates were. So let me try and run this through in my head. 1.5 was the redstone update. I specifically remember that one because that was like a really, really big one for my YouTube channel. Because obviously I was making redstone videos at the time. So it worked really well for my YouTube channel because that was back in 2012. Can you believe that hoppers have been in the game now for nearly 7 years? That's so scary. Hoppers have been in the game for nearly 7 years. I can't even believe that. I mean, I remember when hoppers were introduced. I can remember building AFK ice streams and all that sort of thing. The fact that these hoppers have been in the game for so long is crazy. And redstone blocks. And then... Let me think. 1.7 was the update. That's cool. 1.7, the update that changed the world. That was a good name for it too. Yeah, let me think. So, 1.5. What happened in 1.6? 1.6 was horses. Yeah. Yeah, 1.6 introduced horses, and that was about it. There wasn't actually that much in 1.6. Or is that when command blocks were introduced? When were command blocks introduced into the game? I can't remember. Oh, the comments are back. Yeah, burn the forest. That's not going to work. Fire tick is off on the Hermitcraft server. It won't catch on fire. It will just be a waste of time. So no, not going to burn the forest. Please, if anyone writes burn the forest in the chat, reply to them saying that's not going to work. But yeah, I think 1.6 was horses. Yeah, I don't remember one. Yeah, 1.6 was literally horses, leads, and resource packs. 1.6 was a bit of a flat update, if I seem to remember correctly. 1.7 was a massive update with new biomes and everything like that. Minecraft 1.8 was, of course, the combat changes, and that was about it. Maybe the Observer. When was the Observer introduced? 1.8? Then 1.9, I should remember this now. Let's think. 1.9. The end. No. Yeah. Or one. What was 1.10 then? Wow. I've forgotten everything. And I'm not blowing up the forest because I'll also blow up everything, and that's not smart. I appreciate the fact that people are dedicated, die-hard, still writing burn the forest. Much appreciated. But yeah, no, I can't remember. 1.9 was observers. Okay, that's cool. I must admit, I think... I think we might be clear. Are we now clear? So if I take out that, all of these leaves should now despawn. And then we should now have a clear run all the way through to the end. Let's see. Alright, so with those leaves removed, maybe this tree needs to go. Maybe just these leaves on the end of this tree, to be honest with you. We probably don't need to worry too much about taking out the entire tree. Observers 1.11? Really? When was slime blocks introduced? I mean, it's really difficult for... I'm trying to think. I've totally lost all frame of reference for when things were in Minecraft. I've totally lost it. I have absolutely no idea. I've lost everything. I can't even remember when... I mean, I remember when pistons were introduced because that was beta 1.7. I remember beta 1. Oh no, it wasn't... Oh god, I've lost those as well. Beta 1.8 was when they introduced the new food mechanics. I remember that because that was like the adventure update. And that was a big deal. People were very excited for that one. Because that was a huge change. Sprinting was added. Everything else was added. It was all very cool. Yeah, it's difficult to know. Anyway, should we boot these things up then? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off all the other ones. Let's grab some food. Clearly Minecraft wants me to grab some food. Let's see if we can... Ooh, there we go. I was not expecting to fly then. I didn't even press my spacebar. We just took off. So what I'm hoping is, if we remove redstone from this one and this one, So those two are going to make their way back. And then we can activate these last ones. Now that does mean that we're going to have a ridge going through the middle. Oh, we don't actually want to deactivate this one, do we? Has that one cleared out the full area? I think it sort of has. Or has it not? Do these work better when they're next to one another? I actually think they might. I'm not sure. I can't really tell. Is that still wiping out a space? I guess it probably is. Okay, well, we'll leave that one doing its thing, and we'll activate these last four. So we have a minecart, or we'll activate... Okay, so we only actually blew up one... How many flying machines did we actually blow up? We blew up... 2. Yeah, so we blew up that one and that one as well. I really want to see where these are landing. Okay, so yeah, so they're still clearing out the area there. So they're still being useful. Oh my word. I left the redstone in for that one. I'm such a moron. Okay, so we're going to stop that one from going. This one's going to keep doing its thing. And then we're going to activate this one right here. Which that one's already got a minecart. But the one thing that we need to do is we need to get rid of the leaves at the end. Wow, I just took off through a rock. So this was just, I guess, a floating tree that was left? Right, those leaves should hopefully despawn. I wouldn't have thought that would have caused a problem. I really wouldn't have done. Thank you to everyone writing phenomenon. I really wish you hadn't written that. So people are writing it's a word that I can't say, no matter how hard I try. Phenomenon. Is that it? The only way that I can say it is if I sing the Muppets theme tune in my head. So as long as I sing phenomena, that's the only way that I can say phenomena. That it's guaranteed that there's at least one boring buy in the chat. It's 100% guaranteed. I would bet, like, if I would bet anything. You know, if someone gave me £1 million and said you can double this money, if you can either double this money or lose this money, do you think someone is saying boring buy in the chat right now? I would bet the £1 million that they are saying it. That's my level of confidence. Thank you. I'm glad. Lots of people congratulating me on the phenomenon that I managed to say phenomenon correctly, but I messed it up that second time. So not exactly killing it. So how many are we actually going to activate here? Hang on a minute. So we're going to activate maybe 2 or 3 and then just send them back and forth? Okay. Why not? She's off. She's away. Away with you. Right, let's get this next one into. Right, now if we do this, I mean, what's our lag situation currently? Oh! I forgot to remove the dirt block, but I seem to have gotten away with it. So, that's good. Okay, let's try not to do that again. I need to remember to remove my scaffolding blocks, man. Okay, let's yeah, there we go. That's how we do it. And go. So how many have we currently got going? 4? You know, the server doesn't seem to be struggling that much. Should we go right the way up to 5? I feel like we should. I do. I just think we should just get this over with. It seems to be doing okay. I'm just going to try my best not to fly anywhere. I'm not going to move around. And we're going to make sure that everything works. And then if things begin to get a little bit hot, then we just stop it. Okay. things are beginning to get a little bit hot. We might have to stop it. One. And no. Okay. We have to be smart about this. All right. So those are going back and forth now. I mean, okay. So we've got ourselves a water source. So I guess what I'll do is I'll be down in the field. I'll be out in the field. Why have I jumped straight into the TNT? That's not a good move. And I will just make sure that everything is ship shape and working as is intended. Oh, these are more than okay. So for the first time ever, I think we're actually dealing with lakes or little ponds. I've got to be so careful because there is TNT exploding all around me. You know what? We have so much wood. I'm sorry. I know this could be useful. So as long as I keep facing in this direction, we will be able to do this. It's as soon as I start facing in the opposite direction, then unfortunately I will probably end up getting blown up by TNT. Oh gosh. It is sounding like a real war zone out there. I could have at least turned it into planks. That is so wasteful. Okay. Let's use planks. I will use planks because I feel like that's slightly less wasteful than than just using oak. I mean, I suppose if we're quick, we might be able to actually go back and grab it. Oh no, we were too late. It looks like that's going to come through. Come on. I'm lagging so much that pick block isn't working. Okay, I think we should be okay. Does seem to be reducing. Not seeing any signs of anything bad. There does seem to be TNT on its way. But I think that is everything cleared out in this area here. It's amazing how slowly everything is running right now. It's just trying its best to just keep up. Just keep on trucking through. A little bit like me, really. I'm running very slowly. I'm running very slowly at this point in time, and I'm trying my best to just keep it up and keep on trucking. I am literally, the Hermitcraft server is a metaphor for me at this point in time. Leaves don't despawn, Mumbo. Yeah, they do. They totally despawn. Right, drink break. Yeah, Chris Stewart donated £5 through Super Chat. Bore, to make a hole in something with a tool or by digging. I only just realised this is literally a boring stream. Yeah, I think I might... If I do another live stream, I think I will literally call it the boring stream. Come on. I'm always like 10 seconds too early to get to my bed. You should be able to take a comparator output from a bed when you're able to sleep. Imagine how cool that would be. Can you take a comparator output from a bed when there's a player in it? Can you do that? Or can you take an observer... Can you take an observer output from a bed when a player jumps in it? I can't remember. We are actually making really good progress right now, though. In fact, I mean, if I wasn't lagging so much, I'd maybe... you know what? Let's do this the real old-fashioned way. I'm going to climb up onto a noob pillar. And we'll do our best to take an aerial view of this. Do you remember when this is what you had to do to look at a build? It's like, give me a second, I just want to see what my build looks like from above. As if anyone was ever going to see it from above. Because nobody... there was no way to fly in Minecraft. So you would literally just go up like this, and then you go... yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see how it looks when it's even higher up. Oh, I've run out of blocks. This looks totally ridiculous, is what it looks like. Wow. This is pretty special. Man, if 2012 me could see what's going on right here. If 2012 me could see what was happening here. We've got machines going back and forth, dropping TNT, digging a hole for me so that I don't have to do it. That's pretty special right there. That is pretty special. That is not bad at all. Man, it looks crazy as well, doesn't it? Oh, I can see an underwater lake there. Ah, and there. And there. Looks like we're going to have a few little problems on this side. Elon Musk wants to know your location. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, can you imagine if it was this easy to just create a gigantic hole? Yeah, that'd be the life. It'd be so easy to get stuff. Go higher and say hi to your camera account. I think I'm a little bit far away. I think I probably could. Ooh. The lag is pushing me off my noob pillar. You know what I don't think I've... Oh. Gosh. Oh. You know what I don't think I've ever done in Minecraft? I don't think I've ever had a horse. Yeah. When horses were introduced, totally did not get on board with it. Oh. Things are slowing. Oh, come on, that's no fun. That's no fun. Guys. Both of them crashed out? Both? That's not good. That could have killed our machines. By the way, okay, to the people in the chat who are talking about like the added coral to the tropical biome, here's the deal, right? Now, I do actually have to do that, don't get me wrong. But here's the thing. This whole, like, resend so he sees this kind of thing going on, don't do this. Because all it does is it spams the chat, and normally it's not particularly useful. Oh, dude. Well, we might have just killed the Hermitcraft server. We might have just killed Hermitcraft. Ladies and gentlemen, we could be... we could be in trouble. Yeah, not looking good. I think we might have killed the server. Ah. 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 Oh, well. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, but no more progress can be made. Have a good day, and I will speak to you all sometime next week. Bye-bye!